All right, let's get ready to roll here.
Let's
Hope
do it.
everybody's doing. How you doing, Mr. Z Wade Photo?
I'm doing great, man. I love the hype that you just brought. Can the
Yeah,
audience hear that music, or is it just us?
no, they should hear it too. Good evening, Ted. Jeff, how you doing, buddy? I know there are a lot of people that are already we're waiting, and I know everybody will get in here. The chat from over there does not migrate, so if you were chatting before the stream went live, it's not available to me. But I know a bunch of you are in there because I was over there chatting with you. Robert, how you doing?
What's up, Robert Daniels?
Gustavo, thanks for the emails, buddy. Following what's going on with your lens.
Did we ever figure that out?
Oh no, that's another issue with another person.
I got you.
And I don't have an answer yet for that either. I actually sent that to somebody and hoping they might be able to help out. How you doing, Robert?
I was tossing and turning, just trying to wrap my head around because like everything that I could think of had been done, and I'm like, well, what is it besides the universe just hates him? You know, like I could
Yeah,
not
I have
figure it
no
out.
idea. Yeah. All right. All right. Hey, thanks for pairing the channels there, Zach. I appreciate that. It's good for you and it's good for me as well. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I didn't know if I was supposed to do that or not. I haven't done it yet, but I figured why not. I'd
No,
like some of. I'm
I
sure.
encourage anybody that comes on to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I know for the most part we share all of the same subscribers, but surely I've got some that haven't found you yet. Even though I mention you all the time, but
Well, I do appreciate that. And, you know,
of
I do the
course,
same. I always try to return the favor for everybody. Well, not just that, but lifting up some of the smaller channels. But anyway, the topic tonight, you know, is it clickbait? I don't think so. And if I'm right, I'm a hero. If I'm not, I'm a zero. And I'm willing to walk out on that branch and take the chance. So here you go. So is Nikon getting ready to launch something? There are a lot of clues out there that I see, and maybe it's wishful thinking. I don't know. Hey, Delta 14 Honolulu, welcome. Yes, absolutely. Welcome to the chat. So, what are the clues that I'm seeing? Well, Nikon registered 2 cameras. That's over on Nikon Rumors. Everybody saw that, I'm sure. If you didn't, you can go over there and check it out. But they registered them on the 23rd. And I don't know what they are. Nobody knows what they are. Peter, if he does know what they are, he hasn't said anything yet. And we'll drag Mr. Jeff in here while I continue down this list. Hello, Jeff.
what's up,
Hello.
Jeff?
How's it going?
Good.
Going well.
All
Yeah,
ready for
Moz, man, just hit 14 or 400, man. Really happy about that. 100 more to go to get to be able to post.
Congratulations.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
thanks, Gustavo.
The grind from, at least in my experience, the grind from 0 to 250 was like that, and then
Yeah,
from 250 to 500 seemed like a lifetime.
yeah. And I'm not too concerned with it. I mean, I would like to do the put up some polls and things like that, use cards and all the other things that comes with that 500 subscriber mark. But so anyway, let me get through this list here. Back to Nikon getting ready to launch something. So as I said, Nikon Rumors posted that 2 cameras had been registered by Nikon, and we don't know what they are. Nikon Rumors, or Peter, also said that he expects 1 camera to be announced this year. Well, 2 were registered. Canon just announced 2 cameras.
We
Isn't that
just
a
lost Chuck.
coincidence?
We lost the host. Uh-oh.
No, we should be good. Everybody
Okay.
hear us?
Yep.
Yeah.
It just kicked back in.
Okay. So they've registered 2 cameras. What are they? Who knows? Could they be APS-C? And I'm going to grumble and say they might be. Okay. I don't know if we'll see 2 cameras, but I think here in a few days, we're actually going to find out. Got a little information from somebody that might have a good rumor, a good source. So we're looking to see what comes about in the next 2 weeks. A lot of Z6 II, Z7 II cameras not a lot of them, they are being discounted by Nikon. Nikon's pushing that hard. at least in my feeds. That's all I see is the Nikon announcement talking about the discounted cameras, the Z6 II, Z7 II. Is that for any specific reason? Are they trying to liquidate stock, move stock out of the way? I don't know. But let's just keep adding to the rumor here. I already talked about Canon. They released the R7 and the R10, the R7 being the more robust camera. And at least the initial reviews, I got to say, it looks like a decent camera. And here's one of the things about it that makes it so not unique, but appealing to a lot of people. Not just that it's APS-C, but you're going to get 10-bit internal. No other camera in Nikon's lineup does that other than the Z9. Again, Nikon, are you listening? All right. So those are the things that I think bring about Nikon's response. I do believe we're going to hear something here in a couple of weeks. And again, if I'm wrong, well, you can all come back on here and laugh at me. I've been wrong before, but I just got a gut feeling with everything that's going on that this is going to be the case. And I do think that it's, and a lot of people are going to get mad at me, Robert, not pointing at you, man, but I do believe we're going to see an APS-C body. Okay. Nikon said that they wouldn't go down the road of super cheap Costco type cameras, the D3300 series. Nothing wrong with the D3000 series. Okay. But they said that they at least hinted that they weren't going down that path. So if it's APS-C, my guess would be that it's going to be a more robust APS-C camera on the order of the D500, maybe. We'll see. My concerns are that it takes away production for full frame cameras and also lenses, because a lot of people are going to start screaming about APS-C lenses. They already do. A lot of people want the APS-C lenses, and rightly so. I understand that. With a more robust professional APS-C camera, I know a lot of people will buy it just for the perceived reach you get with full frame lenses. So, but Nikon's going to have a hard time keeping the APS-C lens people at bay unless they start producing them. Is that going to take away from full frame lenses? So I'm being very selfish here. I know that, but whatever happens, happens. I don't know if we'll see anything else. Canon, great rumor out there. Rumor supposedly over at Canon rumors. It's full of fact, but they can't absolutely quantify the rumor other than Canon is about to announce, or no, may announce this year, the R5S, which will be 100 plus megapixels. So there's the giant megapixel camera that a lot of people have been wanting. A lot of people in the Nikon camp want a camera like that. So I don't know, but they also stated that it would be probably released in the first half of 2023. So all that said, everybody that keeps saying there's such a shortage and logistics are terrible, no, I disagree. There is some delay in maybe some logistics. There are some delays maybe in the chip manufacturing, but it's not as dead as everybody thinks it is. Again, this falls on Nikon's shoulders. If they are a smaller company, like everybody wants to say, then I guess it's time for Nikon to grow. At least I think so. But maybe Nikon's content just to plod along the way they are, develop very technological cameras that nobody can get in their hands. All right. Yeah, I'm picking on Nikon, so you guys can shoot me if you like, but I'll pick on all of them. So that's my thoughts, and I'm wondering what you guys say. And don't worry, we're going to get to the red Sue's Nikon. We're going there, no doubt about it. And we'll also talk about the elephant in the room, you know, the heavyweight bout that started a couple of days ago. And I'll say no more until we get to it. All right, so Zach, what do you think? Is Nikon going to release anything soon? If they are, what do you think it is? Or if you don't think they are, then you don't even have to quantify it with what you think it is.
Unless they increase their workforce, I don't think that they're going to be able to handle anything. That's just a size thing. I don't buy into the chip shortage stuff as much as everybody else, but Nikon doesn't. I don't think they have a parts problem. I think they have a labor force problem. If they do announce something, my gut feeling is it's probably not going to be a D500 style. I think that they are going to probably. I think it's going to be the Z8 that everybody hopes, which we don't know what it'll be called. But I can see Nikon competing more with Sony than I can them
Well,
competing with Canon.
I only say D500 like because I believe it might be a professional APS-C
Sure.
body.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
of course, then, that makes sense going along with what they said earlier.
Right. I expect if there is
Jeffrey
an
didn't like his
APS-C,
place in the lineup here, so Vahagan will take his place, and we'll bring Jeffrey in right here.
yeah, I think if Nikon does, what's up, Vahagan? Hey, I'm finally on the live stream with Vahagan. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Nikon, how you doing, buddy?
What's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, buddy.
I'm good. Hi, everybody that said hi to me. I get the spinning wheel of doom on my computer that I'm losing connection, and I just say, well, let's see where I pop up this time. It's like Hollywood Squares.
Jeff just gets tired of sitting in one spot, and he moves every now and then.
How's everyone doing?
Great, man. I'm salty today, by the way. I'm waiting for something juicy to start. I'm salty.
Well, it will. No doubt about it. Nikon in the house. I'm glad he's in here tonight. Finally got a chance to jump in here with us. As late as it is or early as it is where he is, I appreciate you jumping in here, Nikon. Good to see you. Yeah, all you guys that have been commenting on that, a lot of people just saying hello still, but Robert talked about it because Robert's an APS-C shooter, and he says that he's going to continue to fill out the Trinity for his APS-C bodies. He said he did the same thing. Well, I'll just put it up here where everybody can see. APS-C is a path to full frame for me and as an extra body. Perfect.
A couple of just to finish my point, if Nikon does, if they do announce two cameras, I think it's much more likely that it is the Z8 style that everybody's been hoping for, because if Nikon is smart, then they're going to answer that dream for people. And if they do an APS-C, I feel like it would probably be along the lines of like the Pro APS-C. I can see Nikon, if they ever do a Costco style, Walmart Black Friday style camera, I seriously think it's a smarter idea to continue making the Z50 for a really long time, but make just make Z52s and just make them side by side. Make one better than the other, obviously. But the Z50 is going to be relevant for a long time, so there's no reason that they can't just keep making it and have the price go down as nicer things come out, and let that be the trend for a while.
Okay, guys, we got a lot to cover tonight, so our answers, including mine, are going to have to be a lot briefer so that we can get to some of the comments. So just keep that in mind. I know sometimes it takes a few minutes to get it all out there, but just beware that we're going to try to get everybody in the chat involved in all this. Vahagan, welcome now officially.
Hey, guys. Thank you for having me. I just want to say hello to everybody in the chat. And Z Wade, what's up, brother?
How's it going, man?
I'm good, man. And Jeffrey Neville, what's up?
Doing good.
Chuckster.
Yes, sir.
How you doing today, this Friday evening?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm doing great because I don't have a blue screen.
Yeah, but your numbers are going to drop now.
I know. All right.
Is that in the background? Is that what Manny has on his wall?
Yep.
Is that a light that?
Yep.
What is it called?
It's just a projection attachment that goes on a constant light.
Oh, nice. It looks nice.
Yeah. looks like a window, although it should be blue right now, as if it's nighttime out. But too lazy to change the gel. Greg, you're not late, buddy. Greg, I'm sorry, not Greg, but oh shoot, Jeff.
Anthony Howard, I love you, my dude. The D610 is the reason that I am the photographer that I am. It is what kept me in Nikon. And that is, I loved that camera so much that I rolled the shutter on one and bought another one. My dude, D610. Underrated to hell.
Yeah, and here's another Ted saying that the Z50 is very underrated too. I agree.
I agree.
I'm telling you, if I wasn't jonesing for other lenses and things, I would have probably picked one up.
I'm going to be renting one soon. I played with one out at a meetup, and I was like, dude, this is a savage little APS-C. Like, the last APS-C I owned, besides the ZFC, was a D3200. That's what I learned on. I was like, wow, Nikon, you dirty girl, what have you done? I love it.
There's Hero talking about he paid for his Z50 in one wedding. That's fantastic.
That's cool. Hey, Jeffrey, so what happened with that troubleshooting? That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys got the cameras and we're banging it out.
Yeah, that was neat.
I don't think they found out what was wrong.
I just added a bunch of, I can't say I added shutter count to my camera since there's no shutter, right?
Yeah, I love that video you posted with Mozman. Mozman! Where's Mozman tonight?
He's in here.
Hiding in there somewhere.
Can we get a refill?
Greg talking about Nikon has a reasonable amount of DX primes and zooms, so plus obviously all the full frame lenses. But I know that people are going to start screaming for more DX lenses if Nikon drops a APS-C camera.
Well, I think, Nikon Rumors had a pie chart, talked about Nikon releasing another presentation or whatever, and you look at that pie chart, and it shows by 2025, like DSLRs and F-mount lenses it looks like maybe 5% of the market. I mean, so they're basically, they've gotten rid of 14 lenses in the last couple months that they're no longer going to make F-mount versions of. So for anyone who was hoping for ever having a new DSLR camera, I think that's pretty much dead, and I'm sure pretty much dead period for F-mount lenses down the road. I mean, Popular Photography said if you want a new F-mount lens, you better buy it now because you're going to be just getting what's in inventory. They're not going to be making new ones. So you'll have to buy used pretty soon.
We knew that was coming.
Yeah, it's coming pretty fast.
Yeah.
They've already discontinued a bunch of lenses.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like here and there on that because I definitely want the production capacity to open up with the discontinuing of those. But at the same time, I still like shooting DSLRs sometimes. And I know that once they discontinue, at least for the next few years, the price of these lenses is actually probably going to go up because they're not getting made. And it's going to take a long time for them to come down. And I still like to buy good deals on these. I just bought a Nikon D810 because the D4S that I bought that I was excited about, it actually had like a goofy sensor and it was hideous. And so I sent it back, but I got a D810 to run my F-mount glass, and it's just going to go up. I feel like, at least for a while.
Yeah, Mike, we do have a live stream tonight because I'll be away tomorrow at a wedding. Ugh. But
yeah, Chuck's going to have a few in him, and he didn't want to try to do a show afterwards.
Yeah, I have a few pots of coffee.
Welcome to AP Studios.
I'll be in trouble probably for taking photos. The photographer will probably be all over me about, hey, stop that. I'll
Say,
just
listen here, youngster.
I'll just say I don't own an iPad. I own this.
That photographer steps up to you if he looks like he's young and healthy. You tell him, "Look, I have forgotten more than you know. Step off."
Yeah. Vic's all about the ZFC. He's a fan, no doubt about it, Vic. And you know what? You may get some love here from Nikon soon. I really think so.
Well,
Hey
you know
guys,
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
I just wanted to say that if anybody's looking for a 400 2.8, a friend is selling one. G VR lens for $3,600.
Oh,
Chuck, can I share those pictures, or can I send them to you so people could see it, or how's it work?
Yeah. Throw them up there real quick in case somebody is interested in it.
How do you do that?
You share the screen. Pull them up on your screen.
Hold on.
Oh, here you go. Matt Irwin just posted a video. Sony on Nikon bodies, ZFC, Z50, Z62, Z7, Z9 tested.
what is he
Z to
adapting
Mega
them?
Adapt. New adapter, yeah. Yeah.
Now, why would you want to do that? No, I'm
Because
just kidding.
because he wants another he wants to put out a video.
Actually, I think that's a great idea. I would love to shoot everything, honestly, if I had the wherewithal to do so.
Yep. Hero Shot's talking about grabbing one of those Tech Art adapters. So when you get ready, V, just hit the share screen button and I'll open it up on this end.
Oh, you know what? I'm just emailing them to you because it's not letting me. I don't have permission.
Huh.
So I just emailed you like 7 pictures.
Okay.
So you could just, I guess, open up the. Patrick's selling it. He's a news photographer.
Okay.
It's the companies, I guess.
You definitely raised my eyebrow, Vahagan.
Yeah, he has good stuff. He works for the OC Register, and his whatever he sells is clean. I mean, this one's. I mean, look at the pictures. I mean,
I don't see them yet. They'll be here in a minute, I guess.
I imagine that like a company owned lens, I imagine that it wouldn't be in as good a condition just because they see so much work, you know. But that's awesome that they've taken that good of care of it, you know, with it being a
it has
workhorse for the company.
It has some scratches here and there, but the glass is perfect. That's to be expected, hence the price, $3,600. But you take a look at it, see what you think.
AJet Photos. Yeah, sorry about that. I put it out Wednesday. Since I have a wedding Saturday night, I wouldn't be able to stream, so I was going to do it tonight. Sorry you can't stay in here tonight, but yeah, if you can, just listen along with us. You might not get to see the photos of the lens, but hey, you don't have to look at us. That's a benefit.
What's good about this lens is that it works well with the Z mount. It's perfect.
I'm starting to see a lot. Well, not a lot, but I've started to see some videos of just how finicky some F mount is, like adapted to the Z9. Like some of it is like it's performing better than it ever did on a DSLR, and some of it is just like bombing hard. I find that to be kind of interesting.
Yeah, this one works great. I mean, if you're interested in a 400 2.8 and you don't want to spend $15,000 money, you know, put the 10 grand in your pocket, and go on vacation.
Shoot me an email of it, Valhagen, because I am definitely curious about that.
Yeah, sure.
Because I absolutely cannot shoot anything in this town without it like flying away with a 70-200.
Yeah, I did a video with that lens. Matt Irwin has a video with that lens with the 400Z with that dude in the field. I don't know if you saw that video. They were playing rugby or something.
Yep.
It's that same lens. It's a VR 2.8. The model after this is the FL, and then comes the Z. So it's an AFS. It's a beautiful lens. Original price was about $11,000 for this lens.
Yeah, that's
Or 12.
insane. You've got my eyebrow raised, my dude. I
All
might.
right,
I
hang
might
on
be
a second,
interested in that.
guys. Hang on a minute. We're gonna try to do this. I got to jump over here real quick to catch it. Hang on. Can everybody see it? Because I can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so here's the case and the lens.
Look at that classy packaging. Yes. Oh, that is just. Ooh.
Not much brassing on the ring here.
That's in stupidly good condition. I like this.
Yeah. You can tell it's been packed around though, but that's okay. That doesn't affect anything.
You're gonna
Yeah.
get Mozman excited. The last time we talked about a lens, that 200 f2, he pulled the trigger. We're gonna get him all upset now.
Yeah.
Did
Shoot,
they,
shoot me some info on it in email. I might be interested in that, Vahagan.
sure. Did they change the hood on that, Chuck?
No, that's the old. This is an old. This isn't.
No,
This
no,
isn't
no,
even
no,
a
no.
G, is it?
It is a G. It's the
Well, it doesn't-
VRG.
It looks like an older lens.
No, no. Look, go back.
Well, I know, but I'm telling you what it looks like. I know it may not be, but where's Roy? Roy's the old lens expert.
Go back
Oh.
real quick to the switches.
Hang on a second. Let me get back here. Yeah, I saw the switches.
There's only one VR version, and this is it. I mean,
Yeah,
look at the switches.
I guess maybe it is. It just
The hood is different. It's not the original hood, because the original hood comes in two pieces.
yes. I don't even know what kind of hood that is.
I'm sure it cost $8,000 for that hood. Nikon super telephoto hoods are super
It is
expensive.
definitely not. It is definitely not carbon fiber.
No, it's not.
I don't care. Look at all them switches and buttons. Oh my god, that gets me going. I love just incredible lenses, man. That's what all this is up here. It's just oh, I love it.
Like
That's a
Daryl's
deal.
saying that the hood's a Zemlin hood.
Patrick was on here. He was on my show. He's a cool dude. He does all kinds of like news and fires, and he's still shooting with the D5 D6, not migrating over to the Z yet.
That looks just like my box for my 400. You can't beat the case that they put those in.
That lens is stupidly sharp. I'm looking at the flicker right now. It's incredible contrast.
Oh man, this is the top tier. This is top of the line stuff, man.
Yeah, this is insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, and you know that lens will never drop past $3,000 in like 5-10 years. I don't think so.
Yeah, that's right. Roy, talking about the older one has an aperture ring. You are correct, sir. The older AFS had an aperture ring. Yes. Yep.
Yeah, this one will work with your Z mount. It will autofocus.
It looks like there may be a bidding war on this lens on the channel tonight, Chuck.
3,600, Maz.
You're gonna have to be an auctioneer. You're gonna have to be an auctioneer, Vahagan. You're gonna have to get the hammer out. Sold.
Well, Maz has an advantage. You know why? Because the seller is motivated, and the guy's local. He wants to sell to a local preferred, but he'll ship. But since Maz is actually Maz, the guy Patrick lives in Dana Point.
Hey, Maz. I guess you got that. Yeah, he's just commenting after you'd said it. Money talks. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, maybe that threw me off too.
Which newer one? The Z mount?
No, that is not the newest 400G version.
No, there's
Can't
no.
be.
It's the newest G version. There's a 400E. There is no
Well, okay,
400G.
okay.
Yeah.
So it was in the beginning of the run or something. I'll tell you right now, that is an early run 400G.
I don't know what it is, but
It's a good lens. There's nothing wrong with it, but yeah. $400mm standard telephoto by Nikon.
I keep dropping my front element. I'll put it down, making too much noise. I have
I wouldn't.
There you go.
I thought you were dropping your credit card.
about to make it rain up in here. But no, I have a front element from a one of my cheap ass glass videos. It's from this fairly horrible Canon macro lens that I got for like, I don't know, $19 or something. So I just took it apart to see what was inside.
Are you going to put the phone number up later on, Chuck?
Yeah.
I'll tell Patrick to call in. And if you have any questions, you could just ask him directly.
All right.
Whenever you want.
I just wanted to comment on the APS-C discussion here that we had going was,
Yes.
I think if you on the slides that are on Nikon Rumors right now, there's a bunch of comments about what Nikon wants to do, and one of them, they're still hanging their hat on saying they want to do the mid-tier to high-end product.
Yeah.
So I would think if they are going to do an APS-C, in my opinion, is it would be a D500 replacement, so it falls into at least that mid to high tier category.
Right.
But I think it's just going to be an announcement this year for one body, and it's I'm thinking it's going to be a Z8, but I could be full of baloney. But Canon is definitely deciding here to really crank out a bunch of stuff because, like you said, now they're supposedly officially confirmed through Canon Rumors and their sources that you got that 100 megapixel R5 base body camera to ship maybe the middle of next year or something, and they're really cranking stuff out. So I mean, Nikon, if they want to be in the top two, they got to start putting out some stuff.
Yes, I agree. And that's the other issue again. All we get is crickets. We just don't get, not even a leaked, rumor or anything. Canon's over there just basically almost announcing everything that's going on. You got the APS-C body, Fuji, what is it, H2S-C or H2S?
The XH2S.
Yeah.
Which is going to be, which Simon just said today on his show that Fuji Rumors says that's going to be $24.99.
Yep.
And then you've got the XH2, which is going to be a 40 megapixel camera. I don't know what the pricing is on that yet.
Yep.
But what scares me with Nikon too is the talk is that the 600 f4 coming out is going to have a 1.4 tele built into it like the 400 does, and it's going to be priced in that $16,000 plus range. And it's almost getting at a point now where, okay, if you're someone that needs long glass, it's almost like, okay, what are you going to have? The entry level is going to be the eventual 2 to 600, which nobody knows when that's going to show up. And then if you have a little extra ching in your pocket, maybe you jump and get that 800. And then everything else beyond that so far, of the 400 and the rumored 600 f4, that's in a whole different category. I mean, that's for people that are definitely making decent living doing wildlife and safari photography or whatever.
Grays was talking about that this morning. If you watched Grays, they were talking about that. And 24mm, we got those running out our ears. Nikon Z
I don't want
glass.
to see anything else that starts with a 2.4 in front of it because
exactly. So it's time to back off the super telephotos, I think, and let's get some, as they were saying, some of the more exotic primes in there too. The 85 1.2 is a big draw. Everybody's waiting for that.
Yeah, please, for the love of God, launch that lens. I got money sitting aside for, I don't know, what, a year and a half.
All right, hang on. You ready? Vahagan? Let me throw the number up here real quick.
Hey, Patrick, what's up? Well, anyway, Patrick's the one that's selling the lens. Patrick, do you want to call in real quick on the hotline, just in case anybody has any questions, or you could tell us about the lens?
Yeah, Mike, the 105 1.4 ish. I don't think we'll see 1.4 lenses, but that's okay. If they're going to do all 1.8 and then 1.2s, that's fine with me.
I bet a 105 1.4, because in my opinion, like the F mount version of that lens, it was like, I really liked it. It looked really nice, but I always thought it was kind of overpriced. It just, there was never anything in it that,
hang on a second, Zach.
Okay.
Hang on a second, Zach. Yeah, Patrick, just the number on the screen there, you can call from your iPhone or anything else.
Yeah, it's a phone call. It's not a video or anything.
It's just like calling into the radio station.
Is this WKRP?
Except for it doesn't work as well here as the radio station.
I don't see Lonnie anywhere. Wait a minute. I don't see Lonnie Anderson anywhere.
You're listening to 101.5 The
Chuck. Quick overview. Hang on a second, guys. If you want to come in, Patrick, just give us a call and talk about the lens real quick. We'll definitely, because there are probably some people that are interested in it.
And if not, there'll be people rewatching this thing. And a guy came from all the way from Arizona to buy Patrick's other 400. Can you believe that, Chuck?
Wow.
He drove all the way from Phoenix to LA.
That's pretty wild. So how many of you guys are restreaming this on your channel? Zach did it tonight, and it's working out real well. Error. Phone's up. Everything's good here.
Just call like you do a phone call.
Here we go. Hang on a second.
Hey, Chuck.
Hey, Patrick. We hear you fine now.
Oh, okay, great. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's okay, man. So we got you on the line. Vahagan sent me the photos. We showed everybody the photos. So anything you can tell us about the lens here for anybody that may be interested?
Yeah, so it was a lens used for photojournalism purposes. It was assigned to somebody. So it's more of a company lens. It's not my personal lens.
Right.
But it was just recently sent to Nikon and, basically looked over and refurbished. So some parts were repaired, like the AFS motor, the mount, and some other stuff. So been checked by Nikon. It's in pretty good shape overall. And I'd say it's worth maybe like 4,000 or more. So
okay, so it's an opportunity for somebody who's looking for a 400 prime out there.
Yeah, exactly. So I told Vahagan I could do it for you guys or your viewers, 3,600. I think it's a really fair price.
Okay, Vahagan, you want to chat with him here?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Hey, Patrick, can you lower the audio there on the there you go. Yeah, where you Patrick, you're located in Orange County, California, right?
I can't hear Vahagan.
Okay, yeah, that's another issue with this. Just
you want to translate?
You got to love live. So
yeah, it's no worries.
So yeah, he just wanted to know where you're located.
Oh, so South Orange County, like Dana Point area, but I'm willing to drive for a lens like this, so halfway.
Okay, you'd probably rather do it local, I guess, but
yeah, LA area, San Diego area.
Okay,
anywhere within an hour or two,
Is there any possibility of you shipping the lens? I mean, I know I don't want.
Yeah, I'd have to get a wire transfer or Zelle first. Okay. It's the same thing, but one's called Zelle, so.
Okay.
And I can vouch for Patrick because I know him.
Vahagan said he can vouch for you because he knows you. So,
and
of course.
He's been on our shows.
I have the paperwork and everything. Someone needs it, really.
Great.
It's got the trunk case and everything.
Yeah, it looked fine. No brass.
It's got a brand new third-party hood. We just couldn't find a original.
Okay.
So, but it works good. It's nice.
Hey, while we got you
a replacement foot, maybe that would be the only thing you'd need. Lens coat and a foot.
Yeah, just a lens coat and a foot. Yeah.
Yeah, we keep them pretty stock, but you can do what you want, you know.
So Vahagan's got another question or comment for you here.
Yeah, no worries.
Let me see if I can turn this up. Maybe you can hear. I don't know. We'll try it.
I was gonna say, Patrick, while we have you here, can you tell that story you were telling me about when you were shooting and you fell?
Yeah, sure, no worries. So there was a fire recently, and a lot of people saw it. National news. It's called the Coastal Fire. And I cover a lot of fires, breaking news. Been doing it 20 years. And it just looked like a nothing fire, you know, like a 1 acre, going to be 5 acres at the most, right by the beach. Kind of a cool windy day. Didn't expect much out of it. Then it just started to turn up the heat, you know, it jumped ahead about a quarter mile, and it's heading right for a $10 million house surrounded by other $1 million houses. I'm like, this is unreal. So I was up on a bench trying to get a better shot. The tanker plane tries to save the houses, and you know, I'm like, okay, telling my people I'm with, we got to go into the neighborhood. We got to get these shots. These people have no time to evacuate. So I go to turn around on the bench, and I catch my foot on the strap of my think tank bag, and I fall over the backside of the bench. So I'm like 3.5, 4 feet up in the air. Oh, I'm falling with a D5 and a 500 F4, brand new, both. I was a D6 or a D5. I don't even remember. I have both. And then the other camera was my D850 with grip and a 70-200, the newest one, the teleconverter. And as I'm falling, I'm thinking like, oh my God, I hope my straps, you know, don't break. I hope my redundancies are in place. And I just sacrificed my body, and I don't know how, but the gear has not a scratch or mark or a piece of mud or anything on it. It's just spotless.
Great.
So, yeah, I praise the Lord and count my lucky blessings, you know.
Mozman's asking, the Laguna fire?
No, so it's called the Coastal Fire, and it started in like the Laguna Beach border, you know, maybe like a week or two ago. It was just recently.
Okay. All right.
So I'm covering that for OC Register. And so I made it into the neighborhood and all that, but I just still shocked that I can't even find one little mark on the camera, not a bent mount, nothing. So a lot of that was to do with the way I have my strap. You know, I kind of handle it like a two-point sling.
Right.
You just have redundancies. So I have safety latches wrapped around the ends of the strap, and I use the Peak Design system, so I can just anchor everything in place. So even if the strap snaps, it's still got a redundancy. And then the other thing was insurance is really important because, you know, I didn't want to make it such a big deal in front of everyone. There's like 100 people watching this fire, you know, asking if I'm okay.
Right.
And I'm just like, yeah, it's no worries. I got insurance. I just surprised it happened. It never happened to me before. The fire was crazy. Everything was crazy. You know what I mean? It was just, yeah.
Well, man, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad your equipment's okay too.
Yeah, maybe you guys could show some of the photos. It was an insane day. I've never seen anything like it in 20 years.
I have the photos. Hold on. Hey, Patrick. So you had the D5 and the 500 FL on you, and you had the D6 with the 7200 FL.
Yeah, one on each shoulder, and I had my D6 and my 24-7 DVR on the bench where my sister was using it at the time. Her and my nephew were with me, and so we all went together to the fire, and so she had that, luckily. But I almost had 3 cameras on me because just like 5 minutes earlier, I had the 24-70 around my neck. The other 2 are on my shoulders on just, you know, standard Nikon MPS long lens straps. So with redundancies in place, and I just don't know how it happened, but somehow I looked really close. I tried the mount. I looked at everything. I'm like, this, there's not even a piece of grass or mud or nothing. It's just unreal. But I was really glad that I had the redundancy, and then I had the insurance to cover me, you know.
Well, that's
so
great,
it's like
man.
Triple redundancy. But yeah, it was crazy. I never seen where people had 5 minutes to evacuate. Like they're grabbing their stuff and their house is on fire at the same time.
Yeah.
Usually they got hours or days or some way longer, you know?
Right.
So really crazy. I've never seen it. Like I've seen fires with 90-mile-per-hour winds and, you know, fire tornadoes and 200-foot flames. And they don't do that to all the homes in their path. So it was really insane to see this little nothing fire just take off like a monster.
We're looking at it here.
Head for the homes. Like that's a half hour in when those homes are burning. It took no time at all.
Wow, look at that home.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah, $10 million house.
Well, man, I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad the equipment's all right. That's a big
Thank
deal.
you. Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people lost a lot there today.
Yeah, way more than me. That's for sure.
Wow.
Oh man.
Oh,
I wasn't. Yeah, it was sad to watch. You can see in the pictures they're evacuating.
Yeah.
You can see the guy in the Mercedes and the old man walking down the street. They're just running for their lives with nothing on their back.
Yeah.
So,
hey, Patrick, if somebody's interested in this lens, how do they get a hold of you? You know, is it just through Vahagan or?
Yeah, he can either message me, or if he wants to put out my phone number, it's fine. Or either way.
Okay. All right.
Put out a
he's got
Google.
the details first. Yeah.
Put out a put
on the
out a
interweb.
Google number.
Okay.
Yeah, and instead of your actual phone number, because Lord knows who subscribes to these channels. He may start getting spammed.
Yeah. Vahagan can be my filter.
This is a telling image right here, man. $10 million
trust
home.
the guests, that's for sure, right?
That right there is the story right there. That one and the people walking away.
The Mercedes on the street.
Oh, okay.
You can see the palms blowing from the heat and wind, I guess.
I got there just in time after that fall. I was like, all right, I'm good. Cameras are good. Let's go get there. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing because I just never seen that before. Yeah. I've seen people come back the next day and see their house gone, but not on fire while they're leaving.
Yeah.
So great job to the true heroes, the police that got them out, and the firemen.
Hey, man, thanks for sharing with us
Yep.
here.
Yeah, man. It's awesome. Appreciate being on the show.
One question. You had a story where you had that kid that was missing on the freeway or something.
Yeah.
It got national news. It got national coverage.
No, so there was a missing kid recently that was national news, but it was a little bit different. His father kidnapped him along with his cousin. His cousin's a 16-year-old girl, and the cousin and the boy's dad were in a relationship, if you know what I mean. So he took them from another state, I believe it was Tennessee, and then he brought him out here, and they located his car and stuff. It was, national, international news, and I thought, man, that's so weird. They found his car here. I wonder if they're going to find them here too. And I was like, nah, they're probably long gone. And then sheriff's posted a photo showing a picture of the kids at a beach, and all you could see is just some sand in the corner of a parking lot. And I thought, you know what? That looks like it's down the street. I'm going to go look. I drove straight there and didn't get a tip from anyone or anything. Just drove there and just couldn't find it. I looked, this is railroad tracks. I look over and I finally found it. I'm like, oh my God, this is the kid. This is the little boy. He's looking right into my lens.
Yeah.
And so I contacted my people with AP, and AP picked it up right away. We worked something out, and they distributed it. And I think it was in like 130 papers here in the United States and a few international papers. Wow. It was a big day.
Crazy.
It's crazy how lucky you can get.
Yeah, good on you, brother.
That is
130 papers.
Yeah, so it was in the Washington Post, San Francisco Chronicle. I mean, a lot of big papers.
Good on you, man. Good on you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
I want to say congratulations, but the situation, it's kind of weird, right?
Yeah, I know. That's how all of it is. People ask me, like, is some of these photos you post of the landscapes and stuff, it's like beauty meets beast,
This is the world we live in, as John Isham would say. This is what you're looking for, though.
That's the way it is with that kind of with that kind of stuff. Because I've shot a couple of fires myself, and there's always this this heaviness in your gut. It's like you're photographing somebody losing everything, but the story still needs to be told. So it's like it's like a yin and a yang. It's like because I've lost everything in my life, and so it's like like my heart feels for him, but like it needs to be told.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's a balancing act too, because you got to know when to put it down and when to say something or when to help and just be a human. You know what I mean? But it's nice to hide behind the camera sometimes and just detach and say, hey, I'm doing my job, and it's not, it's not my problem. They got it handled. I'll do what I can, but it's hard.
Hey, Patrick, if you want to join us, let me know. We'll get a link to you, and you can jump in here with us if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm not just ready for it right now, just because of where I'm standing and all that. My daughter's not far away, so I'm just gonna stay on the phone real quick, if that's all right.
Yeah, if you want to hang on, I want to get things going here. Appreciate you coming in and talking about the lens. And
no problem.
And
thanks for having me.
Great job on the the little boy. That's fantastic. That's just great observation.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Congrats on all.
There's always luck involved.
Yeah. You hate to say it that way when it's something like this, but you're right.
Yeah, I know it's tough. I didn't know how to say it.
No, I know what you mean. I didn't know how to say congratulations.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It's tough.
Keep doing what you're doing. But one question
I love what I do, though.
One question I have before you go. The Z9, you love the D6, right, and the D5.
Yeah, so they're just so similar. I like them both so much. But yeah, if I had to pick one, I'm definitely selling a D5 and keeping my D6. But it's just hard to do because the D5 is just not worth anything now, and I paid more than I should have, and it's just tough to sell because it's like mint. I didn't use it that much. I sometimes use my other cameras and leave it at home, and so all my cameras kind of low mileage compared to the other guys I work with.
So what do you think of the Z9? Will you be getting one in the future?
Yeah, I've almost hit send it on that one a few times, but now it's a little harder to get, and I don't want to ask for a favor when I'm not even sure. You know what I mean? I just like to play with it a little more. I played with it like just real quick twice, and I was impressed, but I also felt like, man, this is a whole new world I have to learn. And I like the manual control, and I knew like I was missing a few shots that I would definitely get with my D6. And I just started thinking, I'm like, yeah, it's faster frame rate by like six frames a second or whatever. But at the same time, sorry, different calls coming through. At the same time, it's I'm gonna might miss more than 6 shots if I'm readjusting the AF.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Hold on one second. Let me hit end.
All right. Are you there?
What an interesting guy.
No, we lost him.
Yeah, he's great, man. You know how I met him? I met him. He was selling a teleconverter on Craigslist.
Here we go. All right, brother. Hang on a second. All right.
Okay. Sorry about that. I hit end on the wrong call.
That's okay.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. We've just been talking about what Nikon may be up to, what may happen here in the next couple of weeks. Is Nikon going to release a APS-C body or another full frame body or what? But there's just some slight indicators out there.
Yeah, I was thinking that people, it's wishful thinking and all, but I just don't see a Z8 like a mini Z9 because I'll just kill Nikon Z9 sales. And the Z9 is smaller form factor than like a Z7 II with a grip. So I just don't see Nikon shooting themselves in the foot. So I think it's going to be the latter, like an APS-C T500 replacement.
I don't think the Z8 is going to compete with the Z9, even so.
But, it's going to have to be 60 or 80 megapixels or something weird.
Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is a baby Z9. I've called it that, and it's not. It's just carrying a lot of the features over that came out with the Z9, and some are going to be improved even, and that's just the way it is. Nikon can't get past that,
lesser.
So they're going to have to. But it is going to have some limitations because of its size and battery and everything else. So that alone makes a difference. So, but yeah, I don't know. But they need to fill that gap. I mean, how do you feel about that?
I hear you.
That D850.
I hear you as a D850 user. Like, I might want to keep my D6, and I would rather have a Z8, like what you're talking about, exactly word for word. So I get it.
There are a lot of people waiting on that filler. That body.
I think Nikon learned some hard lessons though with the D700 first. so many people, including myself, bought that camera along with a D3 or by itself instead of two D3s or one D3. You know what I mean? So same with the D800 series and the D4. I mean, those were two separate different cameras, but there's no doubt it took a few sales away. So with the Z9 selling out for years to come or whatever it is right now, I just can't see it being so similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Nikon.
But it would be awesome if it was.
Excuse me. Just gonna say, Nikon is saying in their handouts for their meetings and stuff that the Nikon Rumors gets a hold of and posts that they are saying that they need to flow down the Z9 technology to all the lower end bodies.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that, I mean, it's not going to be one for one. Obviously, they can't shoot themselves in the foot.
It seems that's what Canon just did with the R7, because they brought that AF technology into a $1,400 body. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, definitely. I was looking at that. I was trying to see which one was the higher model. I'm like, is it the 10 or the 7?
The 10
I figured it was 7.
Is the lesser of the two. The 10, it doesn't compete with, but it's in the same kind of category as the M50.
Okay.
The 10 is under 1,000, and that's just a single card slot camera.
Oh, I must have seen kit prices. I see. Okay, that's a good deal then on the 7, if that's the like pro body, DX pro body. So yeah, 32 megapixels and what, 20 frames a second?
Well, 30. Although one person commented in the chat here that supposedly the buffer's horrible, and after 1 second it slowed down to a crawl. So I don't know where. I'd like to see where they got that information from, but they're saying 30 frames a second. Too. Yeah, they're saying 30.
Yeah, it was like a 2-second buffer.
Yeah, it's a decent looking camera. I mean, considering the money, and see, that's what when I talk about the Z8, that's what's going to happen with the Z8. It's going to bring some of those features, and that's the camera everybody's waiting for, because not everybody wants to buy the flagship model, and so I know that a lot of people aren't buying it specifically because they were a D850 shooter, and that's what they want, and they don't have it yet. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Definitely. I would really like it if they came out with what you were describing, Chuck. I'll buy one for sure.
Yeah, and a lot of people feel the same way. Yeah, I don't know whether it's going to be anytime soon, but I still think actually that there's going to be an announcement or something this year for that camera. Whether it's a Z8 or maybe they go a different route and the Z7 III becomes that body, I don't know.
I was thinking that could work too.
I think they need to kill the Z7. The Z7, Nikon didn't do anything wrong. It was consumers that assumed it was like a D850 replacement. And so it's like the court of public opinion was so unfair to the Z7, you know?
Yeah.
I think people get hung up on professional, because Nikon says, hey, it's professional. And then people say, well, no, it's not, because it doesn't have 2 card slots or it doesn't have this or that. It's like, but pros are still using them. I mean, look, talk to all the wedding and portrait guys. They love it. Yeah. So
I love the Z7 line.
Yeah. Nothing not to like, unless you're sports or do what I do or something. And then it's, the AF's a little slow or whatever. But
so the other thing that they've got to do, and I don't know if they can do it in a firmware or they're going to have to come up with a new body, is
because those dual processors are already kind of doing as much as they can, I think.
Probably. If not, they're close to it. Who knows? But, one of the big draws to this R7 is also 10-bit internal.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal for a lot of people. And, unfortunately on the Nikon side, a lot of people don't care. They're not video shooters.
Yep.
But, unfortunately, that's what's selling cameras today, really. So.
Well, that's why Josh jumped to Sony, was for the 10-bit part of it.
That was one of the considerations.
One of the reasons.
Yeah, that 10-bit internal is a big deal, more than we think. I guess those of us that aren't big video shooters.
Well, yeah. Plus all the different options they offer, the ProRes and works with DaVinci, everything now. The Z9's just that firmware update was amazing for video.
Oh, absolutely. And that's going to
Yeah.
bring up another talk here in just a minute, talking about the latest revelation that Red is suing Nikon. I don't know. That's just the headline that came out, but we're going to talk about it in a minute and see if it's really suing Nikon or what. Nikon didn't develop the compression; they bought it from Tico Raw. So
Yeah, with that too, I know the owner of Red. I grew up with his stepson.
okay,
He's a really nice guy, and I think what it is more is it's partly the patent thing, but these companies know that there's a patent scam going on, and if they sue in America, there's this one little town where all the cases are heard, and there's a bunch of shady lawyers there. They just dot the whole town. There's nothing else in this rundown town, and that's all they do is they sue these big companies, and it costs a freaking fortune to fight the case. So Nikon or whoever will just say, how much do you want? They settle out of court, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
So who knows? Could be shady.
Yeah, but it makes for great news, especially for bloggers on YouTube and influencers to talk about how Nikon's not going down, but the fact that they may have to remove, raw
Something,
from the
yeah.
camera, or I mean, come on, but it makes sensational news, and of course, that's what everybody's looking for.
Yeah, well, Jim Gennard, the owner, he sold Oakley years back, and he wanted to start Red, and he's always been in the cameras. In his house, I won't get too much into it, but in his house, he used to have a Canon 1200 f5.6, the LI lens that's like 36 pounds or whatever.
Yeah,
got it set up with 2 tripods and like a D30 or whatever on the back. 2 tripods, one holding the camera, one holding the lens. So he's a really eccentric guy. He's really cool.
That's cool.
So
Red is from Orange County, right?
Yeah, exactly. Jim Gennard and his son. I won't get into all the names, but yeah, they're from Orange County, and I grew up with his stepson.
Well, you heard it here first.
Yeah, they're really cool people, man.
Breaking news.
They're for a Gator family.
Yeah,
you're getting AP Studios.
Yeah.
We're talking directly with the source. Source is friend.
That's going to go viral.
I hope not.
I think Jess Freet made a comment. Why are they suing Nikon and not Intopix? But I mean, obviously, if they collaborated on the effort, you always sue the one that has the most money. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Nikon has more money. You're going to go for the big fish. You're not going to go for the little fish.
Yeah,
especially like how I described it. It's really true. You can watch the documentary called The Patent Scam, and it's ridiculous. Like that's really how it is. This is rundown, podunk town.
I was telling Vahagan that I actually went to the patent office or site, and somebody had posted that actual patent. And I mean, the bottom line is, according to the patent office itself, is you cannot patent an idea.
Exactly.
You can patent technology that can be or something that can be justified, proven, or is tangible, even if it is an algorithm. But so I don't know. I think it's just more headline news, and everybody wants to get in the news, and then of course here everybody wants to well, guys on the phone, I know it's tough, but I'm trying to, so we can keep everything going here. I'll drop
no worries.
I'll drop it back. But I have to have the volume all the way up on my laptop so he can hear you guys too.
Hey, Patrick.
If you need me to go, it's no problem, or I can
Patrick,
chat or whatever.
Hey, Patrick, I have a question.
Yeah, Vahagan.
How much pull do you have over there? Can you get me an interview, sit down interview?
With Red?
How much pull you have with the guy?
With Red?
Yeah, he's asking, can you get him an interview with Red? That guy.
What do you want to do?
Ask him about the company, the history. It's sit-down interview at his house.
Oh, yeah, maybe. He's very eccentric, so I'll ask his stepson, and I'll try to find out. But
you know what I mean?
I don't know. You know billionaires, so.
I'll bring the soft boxes. It'll be fun, man. You'll help me out.
Yeah, man. Yeah, they have a house in San Clemente and a couple houses in Newport Beach. So
let's do it, bro.
That would be a cool video.
That Canon lens was amazing. One out of 20 in the world.
Wow.
Let's do it, man. I'll bring all my cameras. Well, I'm going to Red's house, man. But I mean,
You know, he told me a little bit about the lens. He said he had to give them like 60 grand for the front element, and they took a year or whatever to make it. And then he gave him another like 80 or 90 grand or whatever for the rest of the lens when they delivered it to him. And he's like, the only other people that have these are like the CIA and the FBI and AP has one. He's like, this shit's fucking nuts. Sorry for the language, but it was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
wow.
The element is way bigger than your head or anything you've ever seen. It makes a 600 look so small.
Yeah, it's an E-mount telescope.
I know, it's insane. With an APS-C body or whatever it was on the back, it was like ridiculous.
Nikon 1 on it.
I think Nikon had that 1200 to 1700 I've seen pictures of too.
Yep.
Sigma makes one too that looks like the barrel of a howitzer.
Oh yeah, the big one or whatever, the green one.
It is so like coarse and vulgar and hideous, but I want one.
Yeah, and then the AF motor's like got a battery. AF battery powered.
Yeah.
Gotta bring
Hey, Patrick, Patrick, tell the guy, what's his name, Patrick?
Jim Gennard?
Jim Gennard.
Or
Tell Jim, hey,
oh yeah.
tell him, hey, my friend has a channel, Vahagraphy. It's just starting up. It's a rock and roll photo YouTube channel. Tell him he just wants to come have a sit down interview with you, you know?
Yeah, maybe he can meet us at a strip contest coming up or something. He always goes to all those, like VIP at the Vans and all the different US Open ones and ESPN shit. He's always there, and he's always got like a booth. So maybe he will. You know, there's press there that want to ask some stuff. So you never know.
All right, man. Definitely appreciate you coming in here, Patrick, and hook
right.
Vahagen up, man. Let him get over there and talk to this guy. That'll be an interview to watch, no doubt about it.
Yeah, we'll have to talk more offline, man, for sure.
All right, dude.
We will. We'll talk.
You'll have to get in here with us one night and mix it up on live.
Yeah, I just need slightly more notice, and I will set it up.
All right, brother. Not a problem. All right.
Thank you so much.
Hey,
Take
thanks
care,
for
guys.
talking about the lens. And if anybody in here is interested, and of course, this is going to be rebroadcast on YouTube after the fact. But if anybody wants it, they start off maybe by shouting at you, Vahagen. And
yeah, send me an email, whoever's interested.
Yeah, we'll get in touch.
All right. All right.
Thank you.
Not
Take
a problem,
care, guys.
Patrick. Thank you, man. Thank you, brother.
All right. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Jim Gennard, man, it's good to know people. You know what I mean?
That was an absolute pleasure, Patrick. If you're still listening, man, it was nice hearing from you. Incredibly interesting individual.
All right.
You know how I met the guy? Wait, there was an ad on Craigslist for a TC3 teleconverter, 1.4. He was selling it I'm like, shit, I'm gonna go pick one up because these are hard to get. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I met him. He's like, yeah, I'm in Dana Point. I drove down there, picked it up, and then we hit it off, bro. We started talking, and we've been friends ever since. He's been on my show, and the funny thing is, he had a 200 f2 for sale, and he sold it to one of my other friends on YouTube. Like
that is one viewer I would really like to have. I'd really like to have a 200 f2.
Yeah, a guy named Baron Silverton bought it. He's another Nikon shooter. I had him on the show too. So they hooked up. He drove all the way down to Orange County and picked it up. So it's all about the community, man.
Yeah.
And after I sold the lens, Patrick was like so happy, man. Thank you for helping, selling me the lens. I'm like, no problem, man. Anytime.
Well, thanks for the photos and getting him in here. Man, it was good. Now at least anybody who's looking for that 400 too can get a hold of you, and maybe they pick up the lens of their dreams.
You see, here's an example of a real working pro, real world photos, a Nikon shooter. I mean, he really honestly doesn't care about eye tracking or whatever not.
You know what's interesting is I had that D4S.
Red suing Nikon, but go ahead.
I had that D4S for like a couple of days, and like I said, there was something wrong with the sensor because the images just looked off. And but what I found out, I had to go old school and focus and recompose, which I'm not used to doing anymore. And I forgot just how dang efficient focus and recompose is. I was rocking off photos fast, and I was like, it's actually slower to move that focus point around on my Z6 II and Z7 II. It is way slower to move that around where I want it than to just beep, beep, you know.
Yeah.
I forgot how like active photography used to be for me back in the 610 days.
Oh man. Yeah, I saw that Jesper, or I didn't see it. I heard about that Jesper, him doing his wildlife whatever video. Yep, and the Fujifilm X-HS2 is rumored, actually pretty solid rumor according to Simon, $2,500. Yep. Not a bad price for that, but you know, again, I guess there's still a big desire for APS-C out there with all three brands. So,
you know, like 3 years
Or-
ago,
or
I
four.
would have assumed that APS-C was just going to die because full frames were getting like so, they were getting like so affordable. But I guess I never really considered that some people do want that reach. I just didn't think it was going to survive. But there's
Well,
obviously
look at it
people
this
want
way. Micro Four Thirds is still around. Who would have thought that?
Yep.
Oh, I never knew the owner of Red Camera was the owner of Oakley. I
Really?
didn't know that. Yeah, Oakley.
Oh, he mentioned that. That's
Yeah,
odd.
I'm just reading about his the owner, Oakley founder, James Gennard.
Man, we're dropping viewers right and left. What's going on? What are we doing here, folks? Hang on a second. Let me hit the right button.
We better hop into a topic.
Yeah, I think we got sidetracked. All right, let's address the elephant in the room, and it's not Red versus Nikon.
Chuck, how dare you? I've been trying to lose weight. That's rude.
Yeah, well, you may
kidding.
hear in a minute. So, Vahagraphy has definitely become the voice for all of us Nikon guys, and definitely let the opposition know that. And here we go with the conversation. I know, Zach, you posted a video. Did you take that video down?
I had to take that down. I have never seen anything like this before in my life. But on my channel, I have it set up to flag potentially inappropriate comments.
Yeah.
And my phone was exploding at work with like what I think were bots. It was like negative commenting bots. It was just like bling, 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 probably 40 in like an hour and a half. It was just like exploding with all of these like, I mean, maybe some of them were real, but some of them were like really kind of like odd. They had like weird usernames. And I was like, dude, I can't do this all day. And so I don't know if it was something automatic to hype up. Because see, it's my theory that drama sells. And that's why these other videos do so well. And so like,
yes,
maybe there's some kind of automatic thing that when it senses nastiness, it starts trying to add nastiness to the comments. Which
I don't know. I don't know
elevates it
about
even
bots
more.
unless somebody's doing that, but it's definitely going to bring out the best and worst in people. No doubt about that.
Dude, it was insane. It wasn't just like, it wasn't at me, but there was a bunch of like F them and yeah, I agree, F them, and I'm just like, dude, this is way nastier than I wanted it to be. And like I said, some of them seemed kind of body. And so I was like, dude, like I've got to shut this down. I can't do this all day of the bling, 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 bling.
All right, you guys run with it. I got to go to the little boy's room. Be right back.
But the point still stands that I am incredibly just tired of it. Like I stopped messing with those a long time ago because like I said in my video, I live a drama-free life. And that's why I don't have many friends, because the second something silly or goofy or dramatic happens, I'm like, no. I don't play it. I'm happier this way. But yeah, man, my comments were getting attacked. Like, thank God I had flag or hold potential inappropriate comments, or they may have shut down my channel because of that, because they were filthy.
What comments?
Vile.
Comments on your YouTube?
Yeah. On that video, I was getting
Really?
I was getting a ton of like it's like I said, I hold inappropriate comments. Like if YouTube senses that they maybe inappropriate. Sometimes it's stupid. It's like totally not inappropriate, but it'll hold it. And yeah, it was just like I was getting a ton of comments and it was going off all day. And I was looking, I was like, dude, what? Why aren't these posting? And then I started going through them and they were just incredibly nasty. And so I just shut it down. I was like, I don't want.
What do you mean,
I
like
don't want
the
that.
comments that were held?
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah, they were nasty. I was like, dude, I can't release these because my video will get shut down.
But what did you say though? You didn't
Well,
say anything.
Remember, sometimes a few times
No,
on
it's-
Chuck's channel here, a certain word gets said, and then all of a sudden we start getting some stupid stuff showing up,
Yeah,
triggered by a certain word or a certain phrase or whatever, you know. So who knows?
yeah.
So here you go. Nobody knows what your video was about, Zach.
It was basically me coming out and just saying that, you know, Vahagan isn't the only one that's tired of like the goofiness and the silliness and the BS. And it's for me, my point is like, I still to this day, I really like Photo News Fix because it's funny. That is my sense of humor. And so like that to me, that's the perfect time to take stabs at like brands, right? Because it's a joking feel, like it feels jokey. And so that's cool. But I watch these other videos because they're the ones that get the stuff first. And even though I don't shoot anything but Nikon, I like these videos because I like to see what the competition is coming out because competition breeds a better camera in the future for me. And it's just annoying, like watching them get off subject even for a second and being like, yeah, this is awesome, but it's not as, you know, this
And
isn't.
I think,
I'm just like, why?
I think that's exactly what Vahagan was doing, and he can come in and talk about it here.
They
But
can
yeah,
do
I
whatever
think
they
that's-
want with their channel. Like that's
All
their
right,
prerogative.
Vahagan,
But
that's exactly your intent, right? Just to bring about so others are aware of how much, you know, how basically unfair or biased some of these channels can be.
Yeah, I mean, before I comment on that, I just want to ask a question. Jaspreet, he just said, if you ended up going Josh or Frames, it would going to be said. What does that mean? What did he mean by that? Jaspreet, I'm just confused at the comment. No, not that one.
Yeah,
But
I know, I'm
anyway,
putting it up here.
If you end up going Josh or Frame TM way, it was going to be sad.
which way is that, Jaspreet?
Yeah, I don't.
That's the wrong one.
Yeah, here you go. I'll just sum it up. Mozman got it. Leaving Nikon, he means.
Yeah.
Frames didn't leave Nikon. He was always shooting with Sony and but basically I just
Okay, well, you did it for what reason though? That's what I'm trying. You were
did
talking
what?
about
the
you
video.
yeah, you're talking about how, you know, the bias and everything. Don't worry about Jaspreet at the moment.
Oh no, I was just wondering what he's saying. But no, I was just tired of Nikon getting a bad rap from these guys. You know, it's like they use them as a punching bag. They make them look bad. You know, Canon and Sony can do no wrong. And but if it's Nikon, you know, the colors look bad. Well, it's not Nikon's fault. You know what I mean? Like it's like you jab them, but then you give an excuse. And but you don't see none of that you don't see none of those games being played when it comes to Canon or Sony from them from their mouths. So they just play games around Nikon, you know, and I just got tired of it. I just needed to speak out. I needed to speak up, and directly I needed to speak up without hinting at who I was talking about. Just going after them directly and just, you know, calling them out basically. And I did that. I did that a couple times, but this last time I did it, I showed the video of Chelsea and Jared, and then Jared responds the next day with his Instagram story, and totally in a lame way, and just that really got to me, and I just made a response video out of it. So I wanted to put that message on blast because I think it's important, you know, just for people to know what's going on here. So
It's like
that's why I
nobody
did it.
can.
Well, with the other brands, it's like it's all pros, no cons. With Nikon, it's here's the cons, and they don't talk about the pros. And
Well,
that's what tiring. You know, you would think that Nikon doesn't do anything right if you listen to some of those people.
something I mentioned in my video was it's not like these channels are just lying about everything. Something that I've noticed is when they're just talking about Nikon, they seem to be pretty honest. It's like these are some good things and these are some bad things. But when they're talking about the stuff that they do like, then you get the unnecessary jabs and you're like, why? Why not just talk about the good and bad of that? It's like, because whenever you're just talking about this particular thing that you don't have and you don't use and have no intention of using, you get a little bit of honesty and it's really not overly harsh. It's only whenever you bring in the stuff that you do like that you're just like, but this over here, and I'm just like, that's just not why I'm watching. That's why I stopped messing with it. You know, I don't care what they do. It's just not my cup of tea anymore. I'm forever grateful to both of them. I mentioned that in my video, both for entertainment and the stuff I learned in my early days. But you know,
No, I mean,
channels change, and something I want to mention because this is a fear that I have with my channel is that someday I'm going to run out of photography stuff to talk about, which is why I'm changing things now to where I'm doing more in the field shoots where I'm wearing my action camera and you can see me shoot. And I wonder if they didn't run out of stuff to talk about. And so they're just in this cycle of, okay, well, the bashing is working.
Well, look, it's all about views, man. Let's face it. No matter whether you're obnoxious or whatever, you can be telling the truth. You can be telling a lie, which they love to do or exaggerate. And they don't care about the consequences. The consequences are you're going to get a lot of bad press, meaning a lot of bad comments. You'll get a whole lot more likes. And the bottom line is views. He already has a subscribers. So drive views to the channel. That's what pays the bill,
Yep.
Just to sum it up, Chuck, I just want people to be aware of what's going on. And, they don't mention the faults of the other brands. And if they do little, but Nikon, it seems like they're so overly critical about, like the other brands, they brush over a few things. But when it comes to Nikon, they're so overly critical about every little detail, and it's not fair. So I had to speak up, and I did, and I'm glad I did, and I stand by my statement, and I'll never back down. And Vic asked, "Did you get any heat from YouTubers?" Or I got some comments, but 99% was positive towards what I was saying. Got a few comments there, of course. You're doing it for the clicks. You're doing it for this. Well, what do you think Jared does it for every day? Yeah, Nikon is in trouble.
Yeah, that's exactly why he does it. It's absolutely why he does it, because it drives people to the channel. Even if they don't like him, they're going to go watch it. That means he gets a view. It doesn't matter if you like it or dislike it. That doesn't mean anything for revenue. It's views that count. So
all you need is that first ad. That's all you need.
Jared,
so you just need to click.
Nick, the R7 does have 2 slots, brother. The R10 does not, because the R10 is just kind of a point and shoot carry around camera.
Yeah, and why I just don't like why it's so obvious what they're doing, and I'm not the only one. Everybody just sees it, and but I find it funny that some people are very critical of what I'm doing, but they don't see what these guys are doing. For example, acting a fool on few comments. They don't see that. They don't see anything wrong with some of their behavior, but they're overly critical about what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying, Chuck?
Oh, absolutely, I do. And we
they
talked
get a
about
they
that
get a free
while
pass.
back.
They get a free pass.
Yeah.
They can do anything. They can do no wrong. But as soon as a new guy comes and says something, oh, what are you doing? Sit down. How dare you?
No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I agree with you 100%. But the problem is you can't do anything about it. I mean, the only way to do anything about it is for a mass exodus of subscribers, which I'm not telling people to go do, but just so you know, I don't even watch their videos anymore. I quit. I quit watching them because they're just ridiculous. It's just a slaughter fest. Maybe I'm exaggerating. It's not a slaughter fest. However, some very stupid comments that they make, and they do it intentionally. And you just got to choose if you want to watch it or not. I
Yeah.
don't. I choose not to. If people say, "Hey, did you see this?" and I'll say no.
Just look at the way the response was. Was that a courteous and serious response? No, it wasn't.
That of a 13-year-old.
Exactly. What that response says it all.
Yeah.
So
like a 13-year-old, and it didn't even really have any substance to it that was relative to what the point that you were making.
So basically, according to them, we're hating on them because we're not them. So we want to be them.
I have a short story. This is the actual moment that I unsubbed was because like Jared actually like came at me really, really effing hard in a comment, and it was whenever he was doing the Bernie book. Do you guys remember the Bernie book?
Yeah.
I'm not a political person, okay, at all. And I asked the question because I know he does have an awesome like charity that he does where they like donate cameras to like schools and stuff. And that was also, he was pushing that at that time. And so I asked in the comments, because he was doing a Kickstarter to get that book made. And so I asked in the comment section, I said, "Is this for your charity?" And I got this incredibly long-winded response from Jared Pollan. And it was, no, you can't do charity on Kickstarter and blah, 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 blah. And this is about a movement. And it was really like defensive. And it was at that point that I decided, and I'm just going to say this, I don't think this is about a movement. I think it's about using your influence to get somebody to fund a book that you want to print because you want to do it on mass scale. And
maybe so, but here's Hey, Zach, here's where I don't want to go with this conversation. This is really about just, do we have the ability to respond or whatever? I don't want to go down the hate Fro channel. I don't want to go down the hate Chelsea channel. Yeah. We all know, because everybody in here understands, what they're putting out. But the bottom line is it okay for us to call them out when they do it all the time? That's the question. And that's what Vahagraphy did.
I'll just finish on this note then. Like, I don't dislike either of those channels, and I still visit them sometimes, but that was a really ridiculous way to come at somebody with a question. And I just thought that was, I was like, that's not cool.
Can I just say something? A lot of people are looking at this on the surface. Mm-hmm. For example, hero shots. Why are you all hurt by this guy? He's a grown man making videos. Who cares? It's not about us. We're not hurt. I'm not hurt. I'm bringing awareness to what they do sometimes. That's all I'm doing. I'm not hurt. I can care less. But for the photo industry can do better. That's all I'm saying. The photo industry can do better. And if these two are the leading channels in photography, then we can definitely do better. That's all I'm saying. You Google photography or YouTube photography or whatever, those two channels come up the most, right? We're not hating, but the photography as a whole can do better. That's all I'm saying. I'm not hating, Hero. Did you watch my latest video? I even added some humor to that video. I'm not mad at all.
Yeah.
Look, you guys got to stop looking at it on the surface.
It's not a personal thing. It's not a personal thing. Like you said, it's a matter of you have 1 million plus people that watch your channel. And I watch his channel once in a while. I don't watch every one that he comes out with, but once in a while I'll see something. I go, I guess I'll watch this one for a little bit. So I don't have anything personal against the guy, other, a little theatrical, but other than that. But the thing is, you have to, when you're comparing brands, You know, it's almost like if you were an engineer, which I was, and you're comparing one product to another, you're going right across the line. You're saying, okay, megapixel count, card slot, Bluetooth, you know, blah, blah, blah. And you're going line by line. And if you're reviewing a camera, you got two parts of reviewing any piece of equipment. You know, the ergonomics and how it feels to you, which is subjective because that's different for every person depending on the size of their hands or whatever.
Yeah.
And then the other part is the technical. And when you get into the technical, it really isn't that complicated. And you can say, this is my opinion, but you should spend most of the time just saying, you know, this one has, you know, one CFE type A slot and one UHS2 slot. This one has two CFE type B slots. And here's the advantage of one versus the other. You can decide for yourself what you want.
Yeah.
You point out the differences without being biased.
Mhm.
That's the thing. And you let the consumer decide if that difference matters to them, you know, and anything that's an opinion, you should save to the end and say, these are my opinions, because it's not fact.
So here's my thoughts. You know what? I don't care what they say. They can have opinions. That's fine. But there's a way to say it, not to make stupid comments, you know? And I think it's very selfish, very childish. And I think they know what they're doing. But again, you know what? It's their channel. They can do what they want.
Exactly.
Why can't somebody say something about it though? Is that an
Yeah.
issue? Can you
And
not
that's
talk
why
about it? Okay. So that said, let them say what they want. If I could give them advice, it would be don't manufacture problems. Don't make things look to be worse than they are. And that's exactly what they do. Why? Because it drives views on the channel. I keep saying that because that is exactly what it is. Because you have to understand, at least these two channels that we're talking about, the people that own those channels make a living with those channels. And when you make a living, you'll do whatever you need to do for revenue, you know, from that business. And that is their business.
Yep.
But just be careful how you say things. You know, if you think it's not as good as the other, you don't say it's junk, it's crap, because you have a million people listening to you. And I know some people in the chat say, well, I'm smarter than that. I research on my own or whatever. But you can't imagine how many people are influenced by that and bullied into, well, I have to stick with him because he's the big guy on the block.
Well, I still, like I said, man, no hard feelings. They can say whatever they want on their channel, and we'll be here to call them out. And that's basically what it is. But that said, I have nothing against these guys. I can, you know, still want to have a beer with the guy. You know, it's a disagreement. It's not hate. He says they hate me or something like that. I don't hate anybody, and so
somebody has got to be the one that like steps up and says, hey, you know, these guys are entertainment as well as like a photography gear review channel, you know. And so there's some, because they do make their living, there has to be some fluff in there to make it like a more exciting. But the problem is I just want new people, and this is like what I hope, like I just want new people to like go see them. I don't want them to like lose their business over this, but I also want them to find the other people in the calm realm that are also going out and shooting. Like I miss the days whenever they were actually shooting. You know, the photography YouTube space has become so news driven and so product driven, and like I have my products and stuff like that, but there's like I try to bring the actual shoots out. I miss the actual photography, you know, and that used to exist on YouTube, and it's
you know what?
faded.
Again, there are channels out there that give you that, and everybody can go find channels that give them what they want, but there's something in common with the channels that we're talking about. Okay.
Mhm.
And we can't get away from that. Yes, I can turn the computer off, which I basically have. I don't watch them, but then I hear about it, and yeah, it bothers me too. But you know what? There's nothing that I can do about it.
Yeah.
I get angry as well. But Vahagan decided to voice his anger. And the sad part about it is then it's, all about, well, why are you saying all this? Why are you doing that? Now you're stooping to their level or whatever. Do people go over to his platform and post all those same comments? No.
No, because he's the
Then
king.
why is it that if we speak up and say something about it, and I'm really defensive about this, guy. Sorry about that, but because 3 years ago I was doing the same thing, it got me nowhere. I got a few people that rally around the flag. We're all gonna go with pitchforks and torches and go defeat the monster. But that all makes you feel good. But you also have a bunch of people that say you're better than this, and why are you doing that, and whatever. Hey, if we don't have a voice and we can't use it, then what good is it? So there you have it.
Those same people that say you're better than this, right? Why don't they go and comment on what they're doing wrong? Why is it okay for them to spout off and act like children, calling us fucking idiot? Oh, sorry, effing idiots or effing morons, whatever he said. That's not okay. That's not okay to insult every single person that's commented. But hey, you know what? The guy is entertainment, and I actually like the videos that he did. With his grandma and all that stuff back in the day. I think he was a lot better back then. Now it's just, I mean,
that was back when he was living in a small apartment and YouTube wasn't paying the bills and he was doing photography stuff. I miss the photography stuff because if I'm being honest, I like Fro's high contrast work. He's super contrasty, in his photos. I miss that. I miss him going out and shooting, and instead of it just being about gear all the time,
And here you go. I want to say this too. You have a platform. It's your decision how you use it. Okay. Mm-hmm. If I'm going to say that about Jared, then I can say it about myself, about Vahagan, about Zach, about Jeff, anybody. And we know when we make the statement, we know that there are consequences to what we say. But at least we're saying what we believe to be true or fact rather than just making something up for sensationalism. And people can say that you're just sensationalizing the problem. No, it builds up and you want to say something about it. I agree that maybe we can be better in how we actually say it. I get that. But sometimes you just say it.
Yeah. There's for me, it's like I'm not gonna call him like an effing moron or call him a baby or anything like that. I'm just gonna say
But he will to you.
I don't like the content anymore. That's.
But he will. He has no problem calling you that.
Exactly. And so they ask you, Vahagan, like you're better than this. It's like I'm not as bad as that. I guess.
Exactly. Look at what this guy. Look at his response. Look at the way he's acting. It's like this holier than thou attitude. Like, hey, who are you? Who's this guy? Children on Facebook, YouTube. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I still like some of the content. Like, I don't want to be on like a negative note all night. It's just I don't know. It's just not classy. Like, that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to.
And one more thing I want to add,
like
guys. One more thing I want to add. This was not about I'm mad. No, man. I'm not mad. No, I'm not mad at all. Actually, I'm quite happy. I'm quite happy what I did, and I'm just putting a stand to it. So just that's about it, man. I just want people to realize, some of the things they say are not really that accurate, and just be equal when you're doing stuff. That's all.
So, guys, I'm going to say this. We cleared the air here. Yeah, there's a lot of conversation that can go on, and I understand a lot of people that tune in don't want to go through all that drama. I get that. So we've said our piece, and at least here we're going to talk about the typical things we normally talk about. I appreciate everybody being patient with us. We're not going down this path. This is a photo community that we're building. And we're going to chat about all the other stuff. And so I hope you guys don't mind too much, but I think it was necessary to clear the air and make sure everybody understands where each party's coming from and to know where I stand, Yeah. And that's it.
Albert, bravo. Seriously. Albert, you're the man. because I ain't no sheep, man. I ain't going along. I don't care if it's gonna do me harm, because you're right. You're right.
At the end of the day, had any detrimental anything ever come of one of these videos, at the end of the day, I'll shut this down right now, and I'm still a photographer at the end of the day. You just won't see my work as much. I ain't got nothing to lose,
Exactly. And one thing that me and Chuck were kind of talking about is, hey, if YouTube goes away tomorrow, I still have a career. I still have a job. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket. I have clients like you do, Wade, and it's just yeah, man, it is what it is. But there was one comment on your video before you deleted it that kind of struck me kind of interesting.
Yeah, that guy that I that prompted me to go and rewatch that live stream, and I thought it was fairly civil the whole time. I mean,
he pointed out that me, Frames, and Ike were, well, what did he say? Do you remember the comment?
Yeah, you guys embarrassed yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we embarrassed ourselves, or was it the other way around?
No, what's crazy, Vahagan, is it was around that moment that the flagged comments started exploding hard. Like, they were trickling in, but they started getting really hard after that comment.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I didn't think anybody embarrassed them. There were a couple moments where I was like, uh-oh, it's about to pop off, but it always simmered back down. I didn't think that was you guys asked some like pretty decent questions. And actually, I asked some really good kind of leading questions that I thought were really strong. And I think Jared handled himself. I mean, he was a little dry and coarse for a little bit, but I think he handled it well,
Hey, Mike, because somebody was talking about that too. But anyway, hey, Mike, no. If it influenced what I think or say, then no, I would say no. If they wanted to give it to me to try it, to play with or whatever, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm going to tell you right now, whether anybody believes it or not, it would not influence me on what I say and what I think. Okay. I'm way too old for that. My integrity is way too high with everything I've done, but I would not say no unless they said there are stipulations, and then I would say no. That's the way I feel about it, honestly.
I have an answer to that.
Answer that. Too. I'd like to answer that too.
Go for it, Jeff.
Go ahead, Jeff.
I'll go after you.
If Sony said, here's an A1, here's a 600 f4, blah blah blah. One, I would, if they said if they said it's yours, have fun with it. Say some good things, I'd say, well, take it back. If they said, here, we're going to let you use it for 2 weeks and say what you think, good or bad, I would do that. But I wouldn't take anything for free. And if I really liked it more or whatever, it would be bought with my own dime. I wouldn't take it for free. So, I have, like Chuck says, I got my integrity too. I'd be willing to try it out, write an honest opinion. If I don't like something, I'm going to say what I don't like. If I like something, I'll say what I like, but won't take anything for free. Not going to do it.
Thank you, Vic. Appreciate it.
So in that situation, if they just, okay, so let's say, here's an honest question. If Sony wanted to set you guys up with a really expensive camera setup, would you say no? Taking the question as it is, no, I wouldn't say no if they wanted to set me up, that because there's no stipulations in there. If Sony came to me and said, look, we want to hire you. We like your work and we want to hire you. We're going to set you up with our gear and we're going to send you out to shoot some things that we want you to shoot. And we're also, we're going to give you a paycheck. We're going to give you health insurance. I would jump at any opportunity to do photography full-time, travel around, do my thing. Yeah, I would do that, but it's not going to stop me from shooting the gear that I'm really comfortable with. It would just be a job at that point. But I agree with Jeff here. If they're going to tell me what to say, no. If they're going to let me play with one, oh, dude, yeah, I'll play with any camera. But I invite Sony to hire me to go out and shoot stuff on their behalf. That would be. I would take that opportunity. Yeah, I would do the same thing if Canon did it, or if Pentax came out and said, "Hey, we want you to join the team."
Look, there's a difference between being an employer, making a living, and then just making reviews. Obviously,
Yeah,
if they tempted somebody with a paycheck and
yeah.
said, "Shit, this is life-changing money right here," you know, what do I do? You got to give it some thought, obviously. But again, I'm a guy that's fair. You know what I mean? Like I'll take the camera, Jeff. I'll take it, but I'll review it and I'll give it back because I don't need cameras. I have plenty of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so
Yeah, it wouldn't change who I am, that's for certain. And if that was a stipulation, then it still wouldn't change who I am because I wouldn't accept it. I know people may think it's crazy, but anyway. So here's the first indicator. Let's get back to something else.
Talk about Gary, what you guys think about.
I think there's an extra 0 in there on the megapixels.
Yeah, Matthew. I don't know whether Nikon's going to try to rival a 100 plus megapixel camera. Chances are they will. I don't know what camera it'll be, but I actually talked about that a while back. What if I were making decisions at Nikon, the R8 would be the all-rounder, D850 type sitting underneath the Z9 flagship, and the Z7 would become the high megapixel landscape and portrait and whatever camera, and that's the up to 100 megapixel. And then we'd have a normal megapixel camera in the Z6, and that would be the real true hybrid camera. That's what I would like to see. But yes, I do believe Nikon will definitely strike back. I shouldn't say strike back, but probably have a very high megapixel camera come out as well. What do you guys think?
I don't know what I would use it for because I don't do any like product or anything like that. And even with the Z7 too, as a portrait camera, it is offensively detailed. And there's actually, I read an interesting article about how like retouchers, people who used to retouch their own photos, are now having to like outsource it to like the real pros because they can't handle all the detail that they're getting out of these new mirrorless cameras. So like 100 megapixels, and I just feel like that is going to perform incredibly, incredibly dirty on a 35 millimeter sensor. You know, it's like how do you control the noise at that point? It's like, yeah, they have products out there that you can buy, but that seems a little insane.
Well, no, because we're talking about landscape. I mean, primarily, come on, at 100 megapixel plus, you're talking about landscape and portraits. You can control the light there. You can have all the light you want in most cases.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's in a landscape in low light, that's not an issue. Why? Because it's not dancing around in front of you. You can take all the time you want in taking that shot. So yeah,
me being a variety. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I think camera manufacturers are gonna have to pivot a little soon because how much higher can you go? How much faster can you go? I mean, they have to pivot on other things like built-in ND filters, things like that nature, better IBIS, other things, autofocus, improving autofocus. But how much faster and how much more megapixels do you really need, man?
Right.
And unless you have some really, really great Kodaks that knock the file size down, everybody's not going to be able to run out and buy some crazy server to have in their house to process all these images and store them.
I would actually sorry,
that's a case where you better know what you're buying. You're right, Jeff.
Yeah,
I would actually like to see them work on improvements like better screen, bigger screen in the back, because that'd help a lot. Not all of us see 2020. You know what I mean? It's like you need a bigger screen. That'd be nice to have.
Yeah.
Other things like improvements, and as far as the buttons go, as far as it, like I said, built-in NDs, that'd be awesome.
Well,
better video.
It's weird. Like the features are getting out of control, but like the buttons are getting cheaper and more plasticky and less reliable feeling. Like the construction is getting like kind of worse in my opinion. That's actually really apparent, by the way, in Canon cameras. I've held every single one of them at every store I go to, and they always just feel like plasticky. I'm like, this is what we're going. This is a monster of a camera that will do anything in the world, and they just feel cheap. Nikon is not an exception to that either. You know, things are getting more just rickety feeling. But
yeah, the DX one, the Z50, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they're going to use the naming convention. You know, you got Z6, you got Z7, you got Z8, you've got Z1, what Z2, Z3.
there's
Z4.
so many gaps.
Yeah. So I don't know how they're gonna. I don't know what they'll do. Whether one, you know, is Z8 going to be a high megapixel? I don't know. It could be. It could be the. Hey, you know what? Here in a couple of weeks, it could be an APS-C camera for all
Right.
we know.
Hey,
Can you imagine?
Throws us all for a loop.
Mozman, you make a point, man. The dynamic range needs to improve. That they should work on dynamic range, man.
Yeah.
Big time.
Yeah, I
Dynamic
don't.
range and noise reduction.
That's where I'm at. I want to see
Those are the
better
two things.
noise performance.
Yeah. I mean, once you get past 61 megapixels, to me, go buy a medium format camera and be done with it.
Exactly.
If you want something like that, go buy a medium format camera and be happy. Take your landscapes with your medium format camera, and don't let the mirrorless go. To me, you go over 60 megapixels, you're getting crazy. You don't need it.
And they're going to come back and say, you just learned to take photos with 100 megapixel and just be quiet while I get what I want.
That's what I was going to say.
So this is going to go back and forth. It doesn't matter really, because I think Nikon's going to do it. They're just going to follow the trend like everybody else. But the nice thing is, guys, you don't have to buy that camera.
Yeah,
there'll be other models that you can buy. And,
right.
you know,
that's the point. The point I was going to make initially with the 100 megapixel is me being the type of photographer that I am. I'm a variety photographer. I do like all the genres. I enjoy them all. And so like 100 megapixels is like too much for like several genres, but it's really it's perfect for like a few. And so for me, 45 is it'll do portraits, but it's a little detailed. But for me, 24 megapixels is like the best because I do everything and I enjoy everything. And so, I mean, I don't know what I'd do with 100 megapixels unless it was a GFX 100.
And you run into people that talk about, what did we do in the film day? You know what I got to say about that? Go back to the film then. Enjoy it. Go back there. And I'm not saying that, you know, to be sarcastic or derogatory. Go back there. You should be doing what you love.
The funniest thing that the angry photographer ever said was he said if people who enjoy shooting film haven't processed enough film.
Yeah. It's why people make crazy statements. I know.
Yeah, but I'd like to have a conversation with him. I think he's a fascinating guy.
I would too. He's definitely out there, but he's interesting in some way.
It, and it's one of those things where you take it. You know what I mean? It's like you don't get insulted by it. I don't know. He has this thing, you know.
Yeah, he definitely has his niche and it works for him. So.
Yeah.
This is what I've been preaching, Matthew, that the D8 or Z8 would be the D850 equivalent. And I made the mistake of saying baby Z9 and got slaughtered for that without listening to the specs. It was just something I said. But anyway, I think that Nikon needs that regardless of anything else they produce, because that's the camera that the majority of Nikon shooters are waiting for. All the D850 shooters, which outsold the D5, D4, D5, and D6 all together, you know, the D850, that's what everybody's waiting for. Not everybody jumped on the Z9 train. And I think Nikon needs to do that soon. T-Mid, how you doing, sir?
T-Mid in the house.
T-Mid, what's happening? Hey, Jeffrey, talk to us a little bit more about that trip you had with Mozman. I want to hear more about it.
Well, it was just kind of interesting. His dad lives about an hour and a half away from me, and he touched base, got my information from Chuck, and we met up, and I said, gee, where am I gonna take this guy? And things have been kind of crummy lately down here. So we went to a rookery. We were probably there. We were over 3 hours there, and that had a lot of birds and a lot of activity. That worked out really well. The state park was okay, but not great. And the botanical gardens was it was good, but by then we had been on our feet quite a while, and you could walk for miles in that place and be there for 8 hours and not cover everything. So I think by then we had kind of like had enough and didn't stay there too long and decided to have something to eat and relax and just kind of get to know each other a little bit. But it was definitely a lot of fun, and I think he enjoyed throwing the 500 PF on his camera and trying that out. And I know he's got the 800 in the queue. And but we had a good time, and I'm hoping he saw some stuff here that he doesn't see in California. I'm sure he did.
I want to ask him about that, but yeah, man, we should all get together, Chuck, one day.
We are. We're going to WPPI next year. No doubt about that.
I would love to do like a group photo shoot with like everybody, dude. That would be so much fun.
Yeah. I'd like to come to the East Coast. Maybe when Mossman visits his dad next time, like you were saying.
Yeah, he's coming down end of September.
Okay.
Yeah, we got to do something. It has to be far enough out that we can all actually save enough money, since we're all spending it on camera gear that we don't need.
Yeah,
all that crap up there.
let's not talk about expenditures for this year. I'll tell you.
Yeah,
I'm retired, man, and I did some stupid stuff this year.
But you recouped some of it, right? Did you sell any of your old stuff?
I only sold one of my D850 bodies and my 200 to 500 zoom. That was it. So I mean, I had a little bit. And I sold a Panasonic Lumix mirrorless camera with a couple kit lenses. But so I mean, I paid for maybe half of the Z9, but
that's cool.
Everything else was is actually paid for now. Other than my computer, I'll be paying on that for a little while.
Hey, Vic, we're all talking about it right now. Half serious, half joking about WPPI next year. Gives us plenty of time to plan, but all of us, in the community trying to make it out there to WPPI in Las Vegas, I think it'd be a lot of fun if we could all get together out there.
That would be blessed.
I think we go to Tennessee, Chuck, help you find a house.
There you go. Help me raise a barn or something.
Yeah. I added on. I built a garage and a breezeway off my house. I could put up a wall for you.
There you go. Mossman already talking about he's ready for a road trip.
Wade, where are you from?
Originally, I'm a Southern guy. I was born in Texas, raised in Mississippi, and I currently live in the Wichita, Kansas area.
Wow,
right in the middle.
Yeah, I'm dead center.
Don't know about Photo Plus.
That's cool.
Yeah, and my honestly, like Wichita is we have a good community of photographers that we do meetups with and stuff, but photography is tough around here, man. There's a ton of competition, and there's also a ton of people that are willing to shoot for nothing. And so it's kind of hard to actually work as a photographer. Plus, like, I love all of these people in like this community, and I don't do photography full time. Like I have a job that has really cheap insurance and and 401k. And so, that's what I do during the week. And all these other people, like I love these guys in this area. So when somebody hits me up like, hey, are you doing weddings? I'm just like, these guys over here like do this for a living, and they've got to eat. And I don't need that job to eat. And so this year specifically, I've given up on taking any jobs. I'm only doing stuff I want to do, and it's mostly, the YouTube stuff. And I'm working on a 10 photo set called Silver Set, and that's like what I'm doing this year. If somebody comes up and I want to do a family photo for them, yeah, I'll do it. Otherwise, I give it to the people that need it. You know.
Yeah, Albert, I'm going to be in New York tomorrow. Be down in Fishkill or thereabouts.
My brother-in-law used to work at the IBM plant in Fishkill.
This community is oddly connected in a lot of different ways.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Javits Centers where Photo Plus went on. I've said for years I was going to go down there to the city for that one of these days, and I've never made it. If I'm still around here, please, no, please. I may have to go this year just to keep from going insane that I'm still here.
Hey, Vahagan, do you
Yeah.
do any is most of the photography that you do like for work, or do you still get out and just shoot just because you want to shoot pretty regularly?
I want to.
Busy?
I want to do that, just like every other guy. But we always say we want to go shoot to shoot, but it's like, okay, we got to do this today. You got to do this today. Oh, I'm not working today. I'm gonna relax, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
feel that.
really want to make it. I want to go out once a week just to shoot for myself. You know,
Mm-hmm. I think it's
take, like,
important. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
just take like a street lens and just go out and have fun, man. That's it.
Right.
You know?
I think it's important for anybody that might be listening that wants to start a YouTube channel. It's really important not to take YouTube with you everywhere you go. Like, I can tell you that YouTube probably sees 40% of what I do, because you've got to just leave it at home, and you've got to, because like making content is a burden. It's fun and it's rewarding, but you've got to get out and just like do it for yourself. Like, if you're not like a full-time working photographer, you know, and you've got to eat, you've got to like separate from that. Like, that's if you want to launch one, and just leave it at home and just go shoot for the love of it, you know?
Yeah.
I never heard that, by the way, Moz, man. I'll ask my wife about it. I like Roy's comment. You can tell the pros from the amateurs, you know, at the events. Amateurs flock around cameras and pros around lighting.
That's so factual.
Wait, where was that?
That's
Where was
funny.
that?
Oh, okay. All right, Moz, man. Now I got some trivia to hit my wife up with. Yeah, Photo Plus was a big deal. I remember it from years ago, back at down at the Javits Center. And like I said, I talked several times. Actually, I didn't have several times. Back then, I was still running all over the world, so there were only a couple of times I had available to go to it. And I was going to take the train down to the city and go, but again, never did it.
Is Fishkill a city?
Yes.
Oh, okay. What a name.
Yep. Oh, yeah, there's some names here. There's no doubt about it.
Fishkill.
Yeah, IBM had a
that's
plant in
metal.
another town or city next to Fishkill, I think, too, right, Chuck?
Yeah.
And they have two plants. Trying
Yep.
to think of where the other one was. You had Fishkill and
White Plains, I think. Over vicinity White Plains, wasn't it?
oh man,
Can't remember, but I'm sure half the people in here probably don't care.
Yeah, that's true.
Mike Norton in here.
Side note. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Chuck.
Just let me see. Let's see what Mike has to say. Hi, Chuck and all. About subscription numbers on sites. When I have subscribed to sites, I have noticed about 1 in 70 sites conveniently forget to register it. To boost numbers, one prominent photo site.
Let's do it, Stu Blue. What's up, Chris? How you doing, man?
Chris
Stu
made
Blue
it.
here? What's up, Stu?
Hey.
He's buffering. What are you buffering? Your car?
I buffed my head. I buffed this before I came on.
I'm getting there too, Jeff.
Or I
All in
go
due
to the
time.
bowling alley and I just use the thing for the bowling ball, stick my head in.
Yeah. What I was gonna say is, Vahagan, I know you're a drummer. I'm actually a musician too, man. That's one of the reasons why I jumped onto your channel. I was like, oh, we're both photographers, both rock guys.
What do you play?
Hey, James, good point. I will not be on tomorrow night. I'll be at a wedding down in New York. So will not be on tomorrow night for any of those that just came in late. That is correct. That's why I did this tonight. Go ahead.
I was going to say, James is going live on the wedding.
Hey, am I permitted to ask a stupid question?
Sure.
Please.
This is to you guys, Chuck and Vahagan and Z-Wade. You guys all are you guys very active with social media, or do you focus on one particular one like Instagram, or are you on all the social media feeds? I mean, do you use that to try to promote your channel, or?
Can I go first? So before YouTube, I was. Now that I'm doing YouTube, I stopped kind of posting stuff. But I was on Instagram and Facebook. But now that YouTube kicked in, I kind of forgot about those two. I do post a couple of things, but it's not.
I try to like Instagram, and I never post anything because I am very particular about my composition, and I don't like that they force me to crop, and I don't like that Facebook like destroys my shadows and destroys my my blacks. So like if you go to my website, which is the only thing I focus on, that in YouTube, you'll see how deep like my blacks are. Facebook has no idea what to do with it, and so it just like destroys them. And I work too hard on my shots to have them manipulated like that. And I'm not on Instagram. I'm not going to break it up into 9 different images just to make the whole thing fit. It's like, I want the very top of the head. I fill my frames most of the time. And so I hate that about Instagram.
Yeah.
And I don't mess with it.
I use Facebook and Instagram more for messaging,
yeah, same.
to contact people. So yes, Chuck, sometimes we post once in a while. I feel like posting.
Yeah, I'm not much of a social media person other than, YouTube, not YouTube, but Facebook, only because I've got so many of my comrades, as Mr. Stublu would say, from the military side, and the kids, of course. Oh. But on Instagram, I've tried that. I'm trying it. I get harassed. My wife's always on me about, you need to do this. This is the way things work now. But I kind of hate having to keep up with it, to be honest with you. Yeah. So no, I'm not much on that, Jeff. I do a very poor job. I would not be someone that could give anybody advice on, how well it works or whether you should or shouldn't.
Yeah, I'm not on any of that stuff. I just have a natural aversion to it. I mean, my kids bust my chops all the time that I'm even doing YouTube stuff. They think I'm an alien now.
Yeah, I know. I get it too.
Plus, I'm not a big fan of the owner, so I think he's an evil dude.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I just send everybody to my website. Like whenever we have our group meetups, like I would be off Facebook entirely if it wasn't for the Wichita Photography and Modeling group. Whenever we do meetups, I'll post maybe 5 images from that meetup. And then I tell everybody, for full res, send me your email and I'll send you the Google Drive so you can see what my work is supposed to look like. And then, I just always send people to my website, because they don't mess around with the quality. It's the full size that it should be. No games, I'm very particular about my work like that. Like I don't want, I work really hard, and I worked really hard to get to the level that I'm at. And I don't want to play around,
Hey, Chuck, I'll be right back.
All right. No problem. So, Yeah, Jeff, I'm not the right person to talk about social media, and I know you weren't aiming that at anybody specifically, but yeah, I
was
get the
just
same thing.
I was
Everybody
just
tells
curious
me,
because I know some people do post a lot of their pictures and stuff, but I'm not. See, the thing is, one reason I don't want to do it is because I'm not looking for. I'm not sitting there saying, "Oh, I want 100 likes today." It's going to make me
yeah,
feel good. I
no,
don't. I'm not looking for that.
from
I
what
got to
I
make myself happy.
from what I gather, it's just a nice way to market your channel too on YouTube,
Yeah.
and that's what
Yeah.
I've been told. But you got to keep up with it because if if it's not consistent, then people kind of ignore you. I don't know.
I don't know how Peter McKinnon does it because he runs a really high quality YouTube channel and like Instagram is like his thing. It's like, dude, for me, YouTube is hard enough to like run and manage because you're always looking at I'm always looking at the click through rate and how do I make it more attractive and how do I
Well, see,
make
the
it
different
better and
when you're in his shoes, it is probably a whole lot easier though,
yeah,
Zach,
because he's
because
got a huge
he's
following.
well, he's traveling everywhere. So there's new
Mhm.
content everywhere he goes, being able to post something or whatever. Plus, he's got people that work for him. He's got people that help produce everything that he does. I don't
Mhm.
mean a lot, but he has people that helps him. So,
Got a
and
team.
that is his job. That is his focus. It's just like you getting up and going to work every morning.
Yep.
That's what he does. He gets up and goes to work every day, doing his thing. But he gets to do it in a fun way because he's always traveling around here, there, whatever. He gets to consult on products that he likes or, to help people or to maybe put his brand on it. I mean, the guy's got a great life, but he built that channel from scratch and he started
Yep.
early enough and he's very creative. And guess what? All those things equal success.
Yep.
I don't care to watch him,
Yeah.
but I have to hand it to the man. He's an absolute success because he's very creative and he's a hard worker.
Yeah, he kills. Yeah, he is. That's the thing. He is a very hard worker. You can tell by like just the amount of B-roll. He's like the king of B-roll. The amount of B-roll that goes into his video. I know for a fact that if I shoot 3 hours of B-roll for like my new style of content that's coming out, it takes me about 5 hours to edit it and I end up with a 5-minute video, So if he's got like a 13, 14, 15-minute video, they're
Dude,
putting work in.
you're way ahead of me. How many videos y'all seen on my channel so far?
Hundreds.
Live streams.
None.
Yeah.
It's just regurgitated live streams. And I do need to, head down that path, but that was never really my intent.
Right.
And, a lot of people tell me that's what I need to grow. But, hey, guys, sincerely, again, I'll grow as I grow. I'm really happy. I'm up to 400 subscribers. I'm really happy about that. And I'm in no hurry to get to 5 million or whatever. No hurry, right? But honestly, the 500 mark is where I wanted to be because then I can, use the cards feature and do polls and stuff like that. And that's more fun because that kind of helps feed the channel for, Wednesdays and Saturdays. And again, it's all about what you guys want to talk about. Here's yet another night where I have a topic. I'll throw it up there. I never intend for that to be the topic for the rest of the night. You guys drive the train, and we definitely try to, look at your comments and address your comments. And oh, by the way, I got to get this phone thing fixed where the caller can hear you guys better without me having to turn the speakers up all the way in here. But that's what it's all about. You guys have a voice. Honestly, you have a voice. If I'm not addressing it, I'm at least putting your comments up here. And if I'm putting them up there, that means I've looked at it. So you guys are being heard. Go ahead.
Hey, Roy. Roy said that's why my images are so good. That is very kind of you, and I appreciate you noticing. Thank you, buddy.
Greg Wilson, nature photography. What's everybody been shooting? Me? You're looking at it. I'm not going to lie to anybody.
Do a lot of self-portraits, Chuck. That's what it is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I do 4-hour self-portraits, long exposures. Yeah. I posted over on my group page today. I'm looking for a for an admin over there because I didn't realize how much this would take away from everything that I do. Honestly, you guys, if you've never run a channel, it's amazing at how much work it is, how much time it takes away from you especially doing a couple of live streams, plus, the Facebook group page, which I actually love. And that's a safe place to go post your images, folks, if you want to go over there. So let me do my shameless plug here. Only because it is a safe place to go post images. Nobody's going to jump on you, and tech togs aren't allowed. Purists aren't, well, everybody's allowed, but you can't use your title tech tog or purist or whatever, because people post images there just to share with everybody. And if you want to share your images, but you don't want to go over to one of these other forums where everybody's going to grab your photo and start critiquing it, talking about how terrible you are and how stupid you are, this isn't the place for that. But anyway, that said, between that and 2 live streams a week and trying to keep up with enough news going on in YouTube world, the camera world, I'm going to tell you, it's a job. So now this is where I have to admit, people like Jared, people like the Northrops, people like, anybody else that's putting out all this content, it takes a lot of work. And I understand why some of them, however, they're getting paid from YouTube, maybe is not as much as we think. I don't know. But anyway, it's enough to have employees. Mm-hmm. And you need somebody to help you with this if you're doing a lot of videos and stuff. So there you go. It's not as glamorous as it seems. Do I make it look glamorous? No.
Hey,
but,
Jeff.
But I was surprised at how much work it is.
As Billy Crystal would say, you look marvelous.
Marvelous. Yes. Yes.
Hey, I want to answer a question that somebody asked about wireless shutter release. I'm trying to find who asked it here. I'm scrolling down through, but I bought a Vello, VELLO, remote wireless cable release. Uses the 10-pin connector on the camera body. You screw in, a device that has like a little short antenna on it, and then you have the handheld device to activate the shutter, and it was like $80. $80.
It was Gustavo, Mozman said.
Yeah, so that was like the cheapest thing I could find that worked good. I had bought another brand that was more money, and it was junk. So for $80, and it's probably even cheaper now. But B&H sells them. I'm sure everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can I comment on you guys were talking about Peter McKinnon?
Yeah.
He's man, he's got help.
Take it away. I gotta go to the little boys' room. Be right back. Sorry, too much.
He's got a lot of help. I mean, that'd be great if you can have somebody editing your stuff and filming you.
It's straight up a business. Like, he's running a business,
Yeah. All you got to do is just like show up, create the content, and like just write whatever you need to write.
Yeah.
That'd be the ideal thing, So, but I mean, the guy's great. I love the guy,
Back to J&L. Jeff, what have you been shooting? They asked what everyone's been shooting. I mean, I'm sure they can go to your channel and see your photos of the week.
I kind of shoot everything, but the last 4.5 years has been heavily bird photography. But I do macro, I do street, I like old barns, old cars, trains, landscapes, seascapes. The only thing I really don't do is people photos or weddings. I mean, I did 4 weddings for friends, and it's 4 more than I should have done. But
they're tough, man.
I did. Well, I mean, what's tough about what it's funny. Somebody says, "Oh, what's the toughest genre to do?" And I'll say they're all tough, man. If somebody can make a living with their camera, they've got it down. They've mastered it. I mean, the skill set is exceptional. I mean, when I did weddings for friends, I'm like, man, what if my camera breaks? Because that was when I only had one camera. I didn't have an extra body. So I'm like, what if my camera breaks? Then I wreck their wedding. They don't have anything, and you're all stressed out. And then you're trying to get the people they want in the group for the group pictures. And where's Uncle Fred? Oh, nobody. He's at the bar and he's drunk. You know, and you're running into all that kind of stuff. You know.
You
And
know what's
so
you know what's interesting.
Not for me.
You know what's interesting, and I'm sure Vahagen may agree with this, but I've shot a few weddings. I only take like smaller weddings, but I've been to a lot more than I've shot. Does it not seem like every single wedding is always on the cusp of like falling apart completely? Somehow it works out, but it always has that feeling like something is about to go wrong. So it's all about where's the DJ? The DJ lost sound or whatever, you know.
They're fun.
Well, it's stressful because if you only have one take, you know what I mean? That's the thing with that. You have one take. It doesn't work out, and then everybody's going to remember, oh, well, so and so messed up my wedding.
You got to have a good
wedding photography. So stressful, you know. You
got to have a good contract.
The key moments, you know, once the key moments are done, you're good. But weddings are fun. I mean, they're good money. You want to make a living, that's the way to do it.
That's where the money is.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're fun. But I want to do more. I want to do more street, and I want to do more shows and concerts. That's what I want to do.
For me,
did you ever want to take? I'm sorry. Did you? I just quick one. Did you ever want to take pictures of portraits and interviews with famous people?
Yes. Hell yeah.
To answer JNL's question, lately I have been shooting like a lot of different stuff, but this weekend, actually tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I have a bodyscape with a new model that I haven't done any nude work with yet. And then on Sunday, I have there's a record store in Wichita, and so I have a model that is she's like kind of self-proclaimed hippie, so she's got like a lot of like 70s looking clothes, and so we're gonna do a themed 70s kind of style shoot in the record store.
That's cool. Hey Ryan, oh, you're from Orange? That's down to 5. You're right. Hey, what does it mean paired when it says paired?
Paired.
You see when it says you see where it says paired next to the name?
Yeah, and they're purple. Chuck might know. There he is.
Is that your viewers from your end?
That's viewers coming from Zach's channel.
Oh,
yeah.
Well,
so how does this work, Wade? How does this work?
Whenever I accepted the invitation, it gave me the option to connect to my channels, and I just typed in it used my email to link my my YouTube.
Oh, cool, man.
I tried to do it on my Facebook too. That way the local photographers could pop in, but it didn't want to take it, so I didn't fiddle with it. I had too much problem getting this dang video running.
So I just jumped on your channel, Zach, and here you are, man. We are live on your channel.
Awesome.
So yes, I would encourage everybody to do that, and I'm going to do it when we do it if StreamYard offers that. Vahagen. It's pretty
I
cool.
didn't know you could do that.
Yep.
So yeah, there's quite a few people I know here: Matthew Card, Roy, and then Eric Ramon.
Doing that through YouTube.
What's that?
You're doing that through YouTube?
Yeah, it just whenever I accepted Chuck's invitation and it brought me to the Restream page, it asked me if I wanted to connect my channels, and my YouTube wasn't on there, but I just went, there's like a little drop down or something, and you can select YouTube, and it just used if you type in your email address, whatever email address you use for your YouTube, and it just like connected it. It was like type in your password, and I did, and it said it was connected. So
wow.
Yeah. It was right there in the invitation, the very first page.
So now I'm going to go horn in on all your live streams, Z.
So I've actually kind of stopped the live streams. Those
why? You don't want anybody coming over there?
Huh? No, he
doesn't want anybody to know he's home, you know.
There you go. Greg, make sure we don't forget this, by the way. Go ahead, Zach.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like about the live streams. I was trying to do them on Thursday, but once I had one live stream that just like bombed like really hard. Like nobody came in for like a half hour, and I wasn't really like.
I got that beat, man. I got that beat.
Did you just
I
talk
had
to yourself for
one viewer after I'd talked for 15 minutes by myself? One guy came in. He didn't make a comment, didn't do anything. I had one
watched.
viewer, and I just kept going and going and going, and then he disappeared. So that was it. I said, well, I guess I'm going to shut this down, and I did. Anyway, the next day I got an email because he commented. It told me he commented on it because it rolled over into a video, and it said, "You put me to sleep." And and my reply was, because my wife told me the same thing that night. She goes, "You put me to sleep." I said, "Yeah, my wife told me the same thing. Sorry."
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, I shut him down just because, like, I don't know if how long any of you have been following me, but I mean, I was cranking stuff out. I had a backlog that was like ridiculous, and so I was trying to do editing videos on Wednesday. I was doing series on Monday, and then follow up if there was one on Tuesday, and then my breaks were basically Thursday. And so it was live photography on Saturdays, gear on Fridays, and then Shutter Talk on Sundays. And then once I got monetized and I started getting like these things in YouTube Studio that, you know, these advice from like YouTube. And I started digging into it more, trying to figure out like how to grow my channel. And the consensus that I decided on was I need to put more time into videos, and it eats up a lot of time. And so I just don't have the energy after a long day of work to sit down on a Thursday and do a live stream. And I don't want to conflict with anybody else. And it's hard, man. But I like the direction of my channel. The videos that are coming out.
I agree with you. Now here's another tip. If you want to grow your channel quickly, then short videos are the way to go. Anything less than 10 minutes is the way to go. You'll get more views, more people watching. I mean, obviously you need some decent content when you do it, but yeah, that's the way to go, because YouTube did the same thing to me when they noticed all I did was live streams. They were basically sending me things talking about how slow the growth would be or whatever. I didn't have to reply to them because I really don't care. The whole point was I just enjoy doing what we're doing now.
Well, YouTube wants you to do 10 minutes or more because they get 2 ads. But what I found out is like my click-through rate is way better, and my watch time is way better when I don't worry about the time and I worry about like what's in the video, you know, and I'm still experimenting, you know, and so
those of you that are contemplating jumping on YouTube and starting your own channel, well, good luck. Have a ball. Just have fun with it.
Cheers. Have fun.
Hang on a second, Roy. Hang on, Roy.
On a lighter note, we have individuals such as Ordinary Filmmaker and Manny Ortiz, among others, who should offer a good example of what solid channel should be. And I'll go along with that. As a matter of fact, Simon was, I talked to Simon quite often over at Ordinary Filmmaker. I really like the guy. Talking about a go-getter. Gee, man, that guy is building videos down to a science. We talked to him. Vahagan and I talked to him when he was on Vahagan's channel, but he's going to come over here. He'll get here eventually. As a matter of fact, he responded tonight saying with all the stuff going on, he's beat and he needs to spend some time with his family. So there you go.
Hey, Roy Bigsby, choose any Z lens. The choice is yours. Bung, 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 bung. I'm gonna do this just for you, buddy. As silly as it is, you got to give the people what they want.
Hey, thanks very much, Ryan. I appreciate that, man, and I hope you enjoy these. I hope you enjoy the chat. Some nights are a little more passionate than others, but it's still all about photography, even if it's centered around YouTube. There you go. Yeah, Roy. Vanessa. Oh,
there you go, Roy. That was just for you. Yeah, he said grow your channel by putting on a wig and sniffing gear. So, there you go. Oh, that made me laugh. I sniffed too hard. You know what it
So-
you know what it smells like?
You have all the
Shillings.
outgassing from those plastics could kill you, you know.
Yeah.
It's just like that new car smell is all outgassing from the
Hey,
plastics.
whoa,
Yeah.
hang on, guys.
Oh, you know.
Yeah.
The incredible low quality of Nikon is making me nauseous.
Uh-uh.
Tough to have consistent videos with nature videos, so I feel lucky with my subscribers. You know what? If you're just having fun, Greg, then that's all that it takes. And I swear I am terrible. If you've got a YouTube channel, I didn't know, and you need to let us know so I can go over and check it out. Definitely give you a like and a sub. Absolutely.
Hey, do you guys wait? Do you notice a drop in viewership at a certain time during the day?
Yes.
Like you get more views in the morning?
For me,
Then-
oddly enough, and I still can't figure this out, Vahagan, most of my viewers, I think it's 97% of my viewers are in the United States, and the age group is 35 plus, but most of my views happen between 12 a.m. and 5 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
I have no idea why. And it's usually, and oddly enough, it's like Monday and Tuesday. If you look at the analytics, they're very light on the shade of purple because, like, the darker it is, the heavier the traffic. And so, like, Monday and Tuesday aren't that great. Wednesday is really good. And then Friday and Saturday is really good. And Sunday for some reason. Like, Wednesday, I can't figure out. I can't figure that out.
It's funny. Wednesdays and Saturdays are my best times.
Isn't that weird? It's like I got a bunch of 35-year-olds that are on, like, the only thing I can figure out is like maybe I appeal to like I don't know, like maybe my videos are listenable, I guess. I don't think so. And so like I have a bunch of second shift manufacturing guys just like with their headphones in, like watching me as like a machine runs or something. Which I'm here for it, man. Keep on with it. I just don't release my videos at midnight. Like I'm not going to do that because I have friends and family and stuff that legitimately like enjoy my stuff. And so it's like 6 o'clock, you know?
Hey, thanks for doing that, Gustavo. That's what we need to do. All of us little guys need to help each other out. It's great. You went over and subbed. I'll definitely do it as well. Jeff said the same thing. Appreciate it.
Like
guys are rad.
some people they post on a specific day and time. Like videos every Wednesday and Friday or videos.
Algorithm watchers.
Yeah.
So is that what
It's
what
like
is
looking at lens things on DxO. I have no idea what that chart means.
that? Is there an advantage
Straighter it
on
is,
that?
the better it is all I know.
Yeah. I typically, like I have
gotta-
my schedule because it's easy for me to backlog, and I never have less than 4 videos backlogged with a scheduled date, and then I have one that's just free floating around in case something happens. I can't make any content. That way I can have something to get me by. But I'll do random stuff like throughout the week. So, well, it's like that video I did that I got attacked. I usually don't put stuff like anything out in the middle of the week anymore, but I like little stuff. Like I have a hot pepper, like I did a poblano pepper shoot and that's coming out. I have no idea when I'm going to post that, but it's like just random stuff that I don't think anyone's really going to like, but I think it's awesome.
And do you think shorts help your channel or hurt your channel?
Yes. Statistically, those are a great way to build your channel. I just
Sure.
haven't figured out I haven't figured out the recipe yet.
So is that you can only do that on a cell phone, right?
No, you can, people didn't like it, and so I stopped doing it, but I was using them as advertisement for my full-length video. What you do is, do you use Premiere Pro, Vahagan?
No, Final Cut.
Premiere what?
Premiere Pro. Adobe. There should be some way to do it in Final Cut. I don't use Final Cut, so I don't know. But in Premiere Pro, you can go to your you can go to like the size of your video and you just invert it. So if it's like,
Oh yeah. No. I know. You just edit a video.
Yeah,
and
like
you need to transfer it to your phone and then use. But what I'm saying was the interface is only on your YouTube app, right? It's not on the YouTube desktop version.
I think you can watch shorts on desktop.
No, you can watch it, but can you upload it?
Oh yeah, I do it all the time. Okay.
You
I know what you're saying. So there's a trick to it. If you don't record the short on like your cell phone, what you want to do is in the description of the video that you uploaded from your desktop, you want to type in #shorts, and then it will upload it as a short. It's really strange, but that's how you do it.
Hey, I just want to address Nick K here, buddy. Build it and they will come, man. If you do it for fun and you don't worry about how many people are jumping on so quick, don't worry about any of that. If you really want to share and start a channel, just do it.
Do it,
I mean,
man.
that's what I've done. And I think your idea on focusing on portrait fashion photography and of composing each scene shoot in a studio, I'm there. I'm there, dude. You know, I love the idea of watching these things live rather than, just a video. Not that I don't like videos, but in a live stream, if you're doing that, that's fantastic because you can communicate with people, elicit their ideas and answer their questions. I'm there, man. You start it and I'm there.
Yeah, I'm actually really I'm really excited. That's something that I'm going to be pushing more because I just don't want to do the gear thing forever. But like I've been taking my action camera and like my Atomos to like most of my shoots, and it is so much fun. Those videos perform horribly on my channel, but it is so much fun to like actually be able to put my work out there.
So
and I can promise Nick, hey, if you do, I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, and here's the thing, Nick. If you're doing it to be a 1 million subscriber guy on YouTube, then best of luck, man. And it's going to be painful, and you're going to just continue to fight it or whatever. Not that you can't get there, but if you're going to do it just because you want to and you have fun doing it, I'm all for you, brother, and I'll definitely watch. Ryan Luna talking about love to start a Milky Way landscape channel, but tens of people would care.
And I'd be surprised how many people are into astrophotography.
Yes,
there are a lot of people.
Yes. There's a guy out of Utah that I actually watch. He's on Wednesday nights. I'm trying to remember his name right now, and I can't. But
right, I'd be drinking too many beers.
He does all Milky Way photography and teaches it and everything else. But bottom line is, man, all you got to do is try, and don't worry about people making fun of it or anything like that. Not that they will, but some will, and just have fun. I'm serious. Do what's fun for you. However, I will caution all of you, it's a money pit.
Yes, it is. And I just want to say also, like, upload your videos, like start your YouTube channel. And if you don't love editing your YouTube videos, like if you just don't love making them, dude, don't grind it out, because like me, like I actually enjoy all the work that goes into it, but it can still be draining even though I love it. So like if you try it out and you're like, I just don't really care for it, dude, don't grind it. Don't grind it, dude, because I can just see it like making somebody so unhappy. It's like, dude, don't grind it. Don't let it like affect your love of going out and shooting,
Israel, there are a few, but I think most that I found are less impressed with doing YouTube stuff other than showcasing whatever it is they're doing. It's not really a channel or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but I'd love to get more young folks in our group. And it seems, looking at my analytics, believe it or not, I checked yesterday. Let me look at audience real quick and ages, and I actually have 12%, 25 to 34 years old. And I don't know who you are, but I thank you for being here. I think that's fantastic, and hope you'll be more vocal, because there for a while, honestly, my biggest segment of the audience was.
Oh, don't you say it. Don't you say it. Hey, I've been, for the record, Israel, I've been 29.
Let's say 60-ish.
I've been 29 for a long time.
The analytics don't lie, Jeff. Don't play me.
So yeah, absolutely. And 43 to me is young, Matthew. You'll know what I mean when you hit 62.
Well, I'll tell you right now, the majority of the people that buy these cameras are over 30. Like all the cameras.
And Nikon, yes.
Yeah, that's who
No,
has
all
money.
the cameras.
No, come on.
Yeah, I mean, they don't really like most of the teenagers and young, like early 20 guys. They shoot with their iPhone.
Oh yeah, a lot of people do, no doubt about it. I'm not comparing it to the iPhone shooters.
They don't get into serious shooting until their 30s.
I think a lot of them get into serious shooting when they see some of the channels that their buddies are doing, channels that we'll never see.
Yeah, but the numbers are very low.
Yeah.
So I think serious photography and video starts after 30.
Okay.
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Life starts at 30. You heard it here first.
Because what are guys doing in their 20s? They're partying, they're going out, they're getting married, they're going to school,
Having kids too early so they don't have money for photo gear.
Yeah.
Honestly though, I thought about this. I'm like, when you go to a camera shop, how many guys you see there that are in their 20s? Very rarely you see.
You don't see any because they don't go to photo shops even with their to get their cameras. That's what I was talking about up here, with my stepson and all of his friends. Although one of them doesn't go to a camera shop, he searches eBay and everywhere else because he's the guy that I had on that's shooting actual film. I don't mean stills. I'm talking movie film.
I mean, look, there's always the exceptions. You always see like a prodigy at like 14 years old with a long 800 millimeter lens.
Yeah.
But that's just like, I'm talking about just in general.
No, they're not photographers either, Vahagan. They're all videographers, and they're buying that right there. That's what they're buying. That's what they want. They aspire to have this rig so they can go out and be the next Cecil B. DeMille.
But the numbers are very low.
Yeah. I mean, when I think about it, I probably did not own a camera body with more than 2 lenses until I was in my 30s.
Exactly.
I did have a camera body, but I probably only had a 50 millimeter and maybe a 70 to 200 or something like that. But then,
how times have changed.
Yeah, and back then
no money is not true, Albert. They got money.
Back then you didn't have all these distractions. Like you have a lot of distractions now.
Yeah.
You got all the video games, you got iPhone, you got all this.
And there's another reason they're buying cameras right there, gaming. That's why Sony sells so many cameras in that 18 to 25-year-old category.
Why would they buy a Sony though?
Well, because
you know what? They
videotape how to play. They videotape how to play the video game, and they put it on YouTube.
Yes,
well, you could just use a webcam for that.
No, Vahagan, get with the times, brother.
Sony gave one gamer channel a camera and said, "Hey, use this for your gaming channel."
Vahagan, they have gaming chairs that cost more than my Z9.
That's true. That's true. That's why 20-year-olds don't have money, because they bought a $4,000 gaming chair.
And they have every video game that came out, too.
Okay, fine, but they're not out there doing featured films or
no. Some of them are trying, but no, for the most part, no. But they're buying Sony cameras. Trust me. And they're selling like wildfire to that age group too, because
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, just to answer the question of the age, I don't know what my subscribers get up to as far as gear goes, but I did have a flip. Instead of 35 to 44 being my strongest subscriber base, it's now officially 25 to 34.
Yeah, I mean, I understand why they don't want to come in here and watch a white-haired old man sit up here and ramble on. It's hard to relate to what they're doing, but there are some actual photographers and videographers in that category that I have excuse me, I have actually reached out to, honestly. And you know, maybe someday they'll take a chance and come over and be on. But that's why I kept asking for the longest time for some younger viewers to come to the channel and participate, jump in the chat with us, because they can provide better numbers than I can. You know, they know who their peers are and what they're doing.
They're too busy on YouTube and, you know, going out and doing the 20-something thing, you know?
Yep.
We're playing video games.
Yeah. But you know what? That has grown in age now. The 30 somethings are the ones that they were talking about the addiction to gaming for even 30 somethings.
I'll be right back.
Like with
bathroom break.
me, I started shooting when I was like 12 years old. But like I said, that's an exception. Not everybody in my class didn't even know what a camera was. You know?
Yep.
So there's that
Yeah.
rarity.
But they live in the technical or the tech age, and they're, you know, they're grabbing hold with both hands all the tech they can.
I
That's
think
why Marcus Brownlee is so popular.
Yeah, but I think Mosman said it best. I think it was Mosman or Jeffrey. One of you guys said something that made sense. You guys said they start out with the Sony, they go to a Canon, and then they end up with the Nikon in their later years.
Yeah.
That was mine.
When they hit their 50s.
No, late 40s.
I don't see, guys. I wish I could jump in here with you and tell you you're absolutely right, but I don't see any kids with Nikon. None. Not one.
Because they probably don't know how to use that thing.
There isn't in the photo.
You can defend
club,
this all you want, but the bottom line is this is why Nikon needs to target that group. Okay. That's the whole reason, because we need those guys at the ground level coming up in the Nikon brand.
Now that I think about it, though, like as much time I spent thinking about this, I think Mosman makes a lot of sense. I don't think Nikon should worry about that age group. I don't know.
You think they'll just change later?
Yeah, man. I mean, look at
Why? Why would they change later? I'm curious.
Because I'm trying to think about all the photographers that are doing something nowadays, and I can't really think of a Sony shooter.
Moz, man, both my kids have Nikons. Got it, Moz. Got it. I know there are a few more.
See, I'm more of, I don't see young kids with cameras. Period. We get so many hundreds of thousands of tourists down here a year, and they all shoot with phones. I saw like a 8-year-old kid with a real camera.
Yeah.
And I almost wanted to hug this kid and said, "Oh my God, you got to!" And he had the binoculars, so he's looking for the birds. Then he go, "Oh yeah, I see that bird over there, and that's such and such a bird." And then he waited for it to get closer, and he had his camera and he took a picture. And I wanted to give the kid and the parents a hug and say, one, glad that the kid isn't in his room playing a video game, and he's seeing nature, and he's shooting a camera, and he's less than 10 years old. I thought that was great.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's excellent. Henry Doyle, where you been all my life, man?
Another thing I wanna add another thing to this.
Seriously, I'm glad to have you in here, man. You need to comment, speak up, buddy. Let us know. I'm curious about that age group. I'm really happy to hear that, though. Seriously, go ahead, V.
I want to add another thing about longevity of cameras.
Mm-hmm.
How come you see a lot of the older Nikon bodies being used right now, but you never see the older Canons? It's like they're they're non-existent, or they don't last.
I have a comment on that. So like one of my highest, if not the highest performing video, are the videos where I talk about D610s. I don't see any like 1DX or Mark IIs or whatever. Like nobody's making content like that. But the older Nikon DSLRs are huge on YouTube. That's a really good point, Vahagan.
Like you never see like the older 5D cameras still around being
Ye-
like, oh, I just bought a 5D or I just bought a 1DS Mark II. Remember the 1D when they came out with the 1D?
Yep.
You don't see that. And is it because they just stopped working? Is it because, or
I think it.
I don't even want
Yeah.
to call on the Sony here.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that uses the original A7 right now.
Hey, thanks, Delta. Appreciate that, man. And that was the whole intent of the channel. So it looks like we made good on what I hoped to do, man. I'm glad you enjoy it.
Hey, Vahagan, you
We're
know where you,
free,
you know where
we're
you
you
see
free
a
are
lot
flowing
of Canon?
anyways.
And you are included, sir.
What was that?
Hey, Vahagan, you know where you see a lot of older Canons and pawn shops.
But do you actually know anybody that shoots with the original A7 right now?
The oldest.
I don't know anybody personally that shoots with Sony. I mean, as far as that goes, I mean,
How
other
old is the
than the guys that are in
A6000?
here.
How old is the A6000? I know a guy that shoots that.
Probably 2014.
Yeah. Okay. So I know a guy that shoots an A6000.
But don't
Yeah,
quote me on that because I don't know.
well, that's what
Everybody
they
else is.
stopped making, right? I think they had, didn't they have like an A6600 or something? That might
Yeah.
have been the last one they made, and now they don't make it anymore.
See, there you go. My A7
Okay.
died just out of warranty. I don't think these cameras
Did you look at
last,
the
man.
comment on here talking about kids don't have money to buy cameras? Just what Henry Doyle said here.
I didn't say they have no money. I said they're not into it as
Well,
much.
so many people are saying that they can't afford. I don't know where they get that from.
Mm-hmm. What was the I shoot? I lost my train of thought. I had something we were talking about. Oh, the Sonys. This is something that's always scared me about Sony. Is growing up, I always saw Sony as like a consumer electronics company, and I'm not saying they don't make good cameras that perform really well. It's just initially, whenever I went from crop to full frame, and when I went from DSLR to mirrorless, those were all opportunities for any brand to catch my attention. And Sony always scared me because being a 90s kid, I remember Sony Walkmans, I remember Sony speakers, I remember Sony TVs. And for me, I don't want to buy a camera from somebody that also makes like refrigerators and toasters and hair dryers or whatever. I've always seen Sony as a consumer electronics, and they pump out stuff so fast. I remember this. You don't get your expensive stereo fixed. You just get a new one because they don't make parts for it anymore. It's like, oh no, we have a new one, so just get that. That's me as a 90s kid. That's what I see Sony as. And so I'm not saying they don't make great cameras. I'm just saying historically Nikon they started off as an optics company and then they became a camera company that made optics. And same thing with Canon. Canon has a much higher chance in the back of my mind of catching me, for that reason. Whether it's valid or not, that's how I feel about Sony.
I agree with you, Albert. They are built to last, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you see
like
Nikon D4Ss with 1 million actuations.
Well, like you said, if you have a company that has their toes in all the ponds, it's like, are you good at everything, or is something not going to be quite so good? That's what you wonder, because and if you only did one thing, if you've only done one or two things the whole time you've been in business, that's usually the guy that you're going to feel pretty good about. But the trouble is the kids get weaned with that brand, like I said, from the very beginning. Mm-hmm. I see kids that are not even, they're a year old and they know how to use the iPhone better than their parents do.
Yeah.
So that name recognition starts when they're little kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
think about it. A 20-year-old was born in 2002. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not making fun of them. I'd like to be 20 again.
Well, just a
29.
Just a quick comment on that Sony failing just out of warranty. Like, this isn't just taking jabs. It's fact. That is historically like a Sony thing. That's how their Walkmans did. That's how their stereos did. Right out of, as soon as it finishes its warranty, it seems like stuff starts going wrong. Like, that is historically what they do, and it's a good business. It's a good business, but I'm just saying.
Hey, RP Einstein. Yeah, we talked about it earlier. I don't know if you were in here. There really isn't a lot to say about it. The big thing right now is, let's wait and see what happens with it. But you missed the conversation that Vahagan had with Patrick, who was in here, who actually lives down the road or knows the red, developer. Yeah. Who knows what's going to happen, but these lawsuits happen all the time. I mean, Nikon's been in a couple with other people themselves. But the thing is that it'll all be resolved. But it's great for sensationalism to say Nikon's going to have to pull RAW out of a camera. So expect to see those kind of videos pop up, just so you know.
I'm never upgrading my firmware then.
I'll be back. I gotta let the dog out.
All right. Is that what you call it?
Yeah. That's a good one-liner. Yeah, I just had to let mine in.
Think about it. I'm never upgrading my firmware if this happens.
Yeah, I know. That's why it makes it ridiculous. But who knows? But it's going to make for some videos. Some guys are going to definitely use that as an opportunity for some clickbait titles. Nikon has to pull RAW out of cameras. Nikon has to pay for blah, blah, blah.
Don't upgrade your firmware, guys.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But I don't think it's any reason to be concerned just yet.
It's not like I shoot RAW anyway.
How that's going to happen is it's going to be Nikon drops the ball because somebody said.
Yeah.
It's funny. We talk about RAW this, RAW that, but do you actually shoot RAW?
You can't because I don't have DaVinci Resolve.
I know, but...
Wait a second. You can't do Z9 RAW in Lightroom right now? Or video?
No, we're talking about video. No.
Oh.
No.
You could do ProRes RAW.
Yes.
And edit in Final Cut.
Yep. Because both are Apple products.
Okay.
ProRes and Final Cut Pro.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't do or Nikon RAW in anything but, and there may be somebody that's actually found a workaround. They'll bring it up in here maybe, but you can't do NRAW in Final Cut Pro.
I don't need it anyway.
Some of these guys go, "Oh, this camera doesn't do this many frames per second. Nah, I'm not buying it then." And they actually, when they shoot, they don't shoot 20 frames per second or 10 frames per second.
Yeah. I wish we could educate them all that they don't need it. They don't need to worry about bragging about how many frames per second, but
that's my biggest
reason, they buy for those reasons. A lot of people. My
biggest problem with like new cameras that are coming out is like my needs are so simple. I don't care if the screen flips. I don't care about the screen resolution because I don't pixel peep on the back of my camera. I take the shot and I'm confident in my shot. It's like the only time I check the back screen is whenever I'm setting up flash. It takes me literally 2 frames to get it exactly perfect to my eye. And then I can tell when the light changes and I can make my adjustment. I don't need it to flip. I don't need 20 frames a second,
I rather have a good quality screen than a flippy screen. I like that. I like having a nice quality
I'd buy
dots per inch screen.
Yeah, Greg.
Yeah, cameras are. I like features because like I'm a techie guy and I like the engineering that goes into the things, but at the same time, I'm always like, oh God, I got to pay for that and I'm never going to use it.
ARP, they shouldn't be concerned. Nothing's going to come of it. They're not going to send the FBI out tracking down the Z9s that already have RAW in the camera. If anything, worst case scenario, Nikon just winds up paying a licensing fee or something. I don't even see that happening, man, because this is going to be a battle because, unless Tico RAW actually stole their algorithm, then I don't think there's anything to worry about. You can't license an idea or patent an idea. You can patent something that's tangible.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what comes of it. But yeah,
I didn't
ProRes
even
Raw,
know
no,
about that.
ProRes Raw they have nothing to do with. ProRes Raw is out there already, and
You guys
Nikon
seen
didn't-
some of those bullet shots on Facebook with the Z9?
Yes.
I saw that, but I didn't actually like look into it.
Somebody firing a bullet.
Mm-mm.
I
You
heard
saw that,
about
right, Chuck?
I didn't watch it, but I heard about it.
Did it get it at 120 frames per second? I guess.
Something like that. I didn't really get it like you. I didn't really dive into it, but I saw something.
Yeah, I saw it and I was gonna watch it, but I didn't add it to my saved videos, and so I forgot to go actually check it out. That's cool though. That's another feature that since I'm so late getting my Z9, it still hasn't arrived yet. All of the stuff that I wanted to do on YouTube has like already been done like over and over and over. And so I can see myself literally never using the 120 frames per second because I was just going to test it out. Like I'm a single frame guy most of the time. So
I've never used it so far. I've never used it.
I don't like that argument that you have some people saying, well, why only 12 megapixels? I'm like, do you really want to load in even 24 megapixels of 120 frames? Like the processing power doesn't exist, you ding dong. You know, there's no card that will do it.
Mazman, you're absolutely right. Nikon didn't say, "Oh, we made a mistake." You're absolutely right. They knew what they were getting into. That's why it's going to be sensationalized because it gets great play. You know, everybody. It's a lot of clickbait that can come out of this.
If anything, it's kind of awesome because a lot of people are going to be looking into it, and the people that don't know, they're going to be like, "Damn, that Z9 does sound pretty savage, though." Maybe Nikon can pay the licensing fee of more back orders.
Here you go, Robert. Wait, newsflash. Do we spend our time debating about camera brands because most cameras have become glorified CPUs? Yes. Hence, the older one gets the more attractive a Leica, gets more attractive Leica or Fuji becomes. Yeah.
What's up, Robert Daniels? Hey, Fel. Fel is here. What's up, Fel?
Phil, my man, I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah.
Well, it's fun when you. I never shot video other than back in the day with a Super 8 or a camcorder or that type of thing. But when I said I'm investing in this Z9 body, I says I'm going to learn video if it kills me. Well, it hasn't killed me yet. It's working on it, but it hasn't killed me yet. And I am enjoying it. I never thought I would, but I am enjoying it. But I still like my stills are my primary focus, and the video is a supplemental thing in my mind for me.
That's another thing with these guys. They never mentioned the Z9 as being a capable video camera. You know?
No, why highlight the good things? You don't want to do that if you want.
Greg Wilson, I like on my Nikons. That's a good one-liner.
That's cool. Yeah, that's
a
cool.
good one-liner. So I have a question for the group, and we'll start with Vahagan since he's in the top left corner. If you could place yourself in any end game for you, like with your photography, what would that be? Like if you could just say this is the top for me. If I could, you could just place yourself at the top of your goals and your wish and your dreams. Like, what would that be?
I guess going out and capturing moments in time that matter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't know, like musicians at home, or maybe portraits like a Joseph Karsh,
Mm-hmm.
or a street photographer like Vivian Mayer. That would be nice. Something like that. By the way, what do you guys think of that story? The Vivian Meyer story. Isn't that some fascinating story, man?
If it's
Are you
the
guys
person, is that
are you
the
guys
is
are you
that the
guys
really
familiar?
private? Is that the really like private photographer that they found like a box loads of her work, and then they
Yeah,
made like a movie out of it?
the nanny.
Yeah, that is really interesting because her work is really cool. But everybody that knew her said that says that she would be appalled because she was so intentionally private, like with her work. And so it's kind of interesting because the work is really good. But
Dude, they didn't find a box. They found freaking
yeah,
thousands of
yeah,
undeveloped rolls of
tons.
film.
Yeah,
They
she
found
just shot to shoot, like
they found a garage full of film and images she would print out, and every click was great. She wouldn't waste a roll of film. And it's just a fascinating story, man. Like
Yeah, it
that's a
is. It's really
story.
interesting. Them, I tell you
That's
what, man, that Rolleiflex made some good images, man. She knew how to use that thing.
Jeffrey, did you watch that documentary?
No, I didn't see that one.
Oh wow. You gotta watch this.
I haven't seen the documentary yet, but I heard about it.
Now who did that? Was that like a National Geographic thing or?
It was a professional documentary. I don't know who did it, but so
The
basically just
the guys that
search
bought the work made it. They're the ones that made the documentary.
Okay.
just search Finding Vivian Mayer and watch that thing. And you will love it. And if you want if you want to know a place where you can watch it for free, I'll give you the website. There's a streaming thing where all you do is like tap the about that you can watch any movie on your phone.
Oh, okay.
You just
I'll
like
find it.
you have to click the X off a couple times. So there's two pop-ups that come up, and then you'll be able to play it on your iPad or whatever.
So hey Chuck.
Yes, sir.
If you could, same question as I had for Vahagan, if you could place yourself anywhere, like what would your end game be? Like, this is the top, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to be doing.
Shooting anything action. Trying to catch the shot that nobody got.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, how about you?
Well, I would like to shoot as many national parks as I could while I'm still on this earth. If I could afford to do it, I would go to every stinking national park I could find and shoot it. Mm-hmm. That would be what I'd like to do. See the United States, see this country.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question, Zway, because I really haven't thought about it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
You work too much, brother.
Yeah.
I feel it though,
really
man. You've got a hard job, man. People don't understand that full-time photography is tough. And by the way, the average income for a professional photographer is like $40,000 a year. It is hard, dude. It's such hustle. It's such hustle.
Yeah.
I think my top of the top would be I want like an actual place to create that is not like in my home. And so I've been on the housing market for 2 years, and of course I'm going to have a little studio set at home, but I would love to be in a position where I can have like I can describe it as like you guys, I don't know if you guys know who Rob Dyrdek is, but he had like the Fantasy Factory where he just did all his stuff, and his thing was like skateboarding and business. I want to have a place where I can have multiple scenes set up, and I go there to do my YouTube, and I go there to do my studio stuff, separate from my home, where I can keep all of my stuff. And that's my top of the top is to have a place separate from my home. That's like my space. It's like my photo and creativity space.
There you go. Everybody's adding their 10 cents worth. Nick Hay wants to go to Tasmania one day, to the south western area of Tasmania.
I guess what Jeffrey said makes sense about the national parks.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I think about that, uh, I would want to go all over the world and just shoot,
Mhm.
but shoot history. Like, okay, this is where we are. We're in, like, King Arthur's castle, or this was, you know what I mean? Like some place where it's just history, the world history,
Go
and just
shoot Europe. Go shoot Europe. That's
I
where all
want
the
to shoot
history.
Europe so bad.
Yeah.
yeah, this is where Alexander the Great fought, whoever he fought, or like that
Mhm.
kind of stuff. I think that's my ultimate end game, and is just to capture that for myself, though, not for anybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I
Yeah.
would share it with people, but I wouldn't care if I'm not making a penny from what I'm doing.
A landscape it would be an empty landscape, this Alexander's battlefield, but to you, because you know that's Alexander's battlefield, that is like super meaningful to you. Like that's the coolest thing in the world. Nobody else would know but you until you tell them.
There's
And
got
it's
to
an
be some
opportunity to
signs.
talk.
There's got to be some signs of something like that. I
Mhm.
mean,
There you go.
wherever you go, even Civil War history, if you travel all across where you guys are from, you two in the bottom, uh, you
Just
get
trying
all
to get
that.
through some of these guys. They're adding their 10 cents worth too.
You
I
A lot
get
love
of
it.
all
them
that
in Costa
history of the
Rica.
Civil War, like that
Right.
whole. I just want to do that, and I want to learn in the process.
Yeah.
Meet people, interview people that have ancestors that tell stories. Hey, I'm the caretaker of this old house that Abraham Lincoln was like grew up in. For an example, I mean,
That's
something like
cool,
that.
Robert.
One of my bucket list things is are you guys familiar with Dragon edits?
Where?
They're an editing style called Dragon edits.
No.
No.
It's a specific editing style it's like really like almost grotesque and like gritty and awesome. Just Google it sometime. But I do a lot of Dragon edits like on my own, and one of my bucket lists is I want to do like a Native American like powwow just for like the colors and like all of those colors, and I want to do like a whole series of Dragon edits with that because it's so colorful and the culture is like so rich. I just think it would be super cool to just have like an entire set of all the beautiful colors and the rich cultural and things that you can capture.
Hey guys,
That's a bucket list.
check out the comments that I'm throwing up here. Some are aimed at you guys, but
Yeah,
these
let's do
guys
it.
are talking about it too, rather than just listening to us. They're adding their 10 cents worth. It's pretty interesting at some of the things they've come up with. And this one's for you, Zach.
Wolf Tick, I am jealous, man. I'm not there yet. It's something I'm working on. It's kind of it's going to be a long grind to get there, but I'm jealous, bro.
Yeah, Mozman Mozman wants to go to Madagascar.
Yeah.
I love it,
Or
man.
even
I didn't know that
even
question
where-
would get some response. I love it.
Oh yeah.
You-
Everybody's got dreams, man, where they'd like to go with their
You guys
kids.
are chatting away, man. They've been dropping some comments. Everybody's got some ideas of what they would like to do.
I'm bad at live streaming. I'm sorry. Go ahead,
It's all right.
Vahagraphy.
It's all right. I'll keep you straight, man.
even where like the Andes, like in Chile or down there, like down south.
Mm-hmm.
South America has some beautiful places, man,
Yeah, it
that
does.
hardly anybody talks about.
Peru,
Yeah.
right?
I mean,
Yeah,
there's
down the Andes.
the history of South America goes back way further than people realize. Like I'm a history nut. Like I listen to documentaries all day at work whenever I'm not listening to Chuck's live streams or whatever. But the history is so rich in South America that it's just like insane.
Like here at home, we got the Grand Canyon. That Grand Canyon is a mystery. How it formed, why it's there.
Yeah, they're like
Yeah.
it's formed by the Colorado River. I'm like, but it's so deep.
Phil, I want that 85 1.2 also. I think it's a lens that I'm going to be very interested in. And I'd like to start the Trinity, but I think the 85 1.2 is going to be one of the first I get as far as the other primes. I'm with you.
I
like
literally, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Roy, I'm going with you, man, because I love the Hobbit movies. And you may ask why. Why would you like the Hobbit movies?
Why you got to
Well,
bring up hobbits? I'm 5'5". I'm offended.
When I was a young ranger in the Ranger Battalion, those books were very popular back when people actually read and didn't have phones. And they would be passed around and read to pieces. And I loved the Hobbit books. They were fantastic. And the movies just brought it to life for me. So I'm with you, Roy. When we going to shoot some Hobbits, man? I'm with you.
Yeah, like the Pacific Northwest is beautiful. Pacific Northwest, Alaska, Seattle, Oregon, all that.
I want to go on a I mean, they've all been done before, but I don't care. So it'll really just be for me. But I want to go on an East Coast lighthouse landscape run.
Yep. Maine,
big time, Maine.
Portland, Maine, right?
Portland Head Lighthouse, oldest lighthouse in Maine.
You guys been to Niagara?
I haven't.
Yeah.
Niagara Falls?
As a youngster.
I pulled the Chevy Chase thing. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the most exciting place I've been to. The most exciting place I've been to, whenever I was probably a freshman in high school, over that summer, we went to Yellowstone, and I wish I was a photographer back then. I really do, but I didn't have a camera then, so we all need to win the lotto first.
Yeah, somebody mentioned Bayou Josh is in Alaska, and I know from watching Henry Hudson's channel, he just did just got his 800. He wasn't sure if he was going to keep it or not, and he sounds like he's keeping it. And he is, as we speak, I guess, in Costa Rica using the 800.
Wow.
That guy is so lucky, dude. He goes all I wish I had the wherewithal to just travel.
I'm going to be down in his old neck of the woods here soon.
Hudson?
He's not there anymore. Yeah, he's out in California, I guess. Well,
where did he used to be?
Well, look at his name.
Hudson
Henry. I think he was down here in New York.
Oh.
It's called upstate, by the way, because it's not within the boroughs. Ignorant me when I got up here and somebody go, well, I'm from upstate New York. I'm thinking, wow, we're Buffalo or what? No, right down here in Binghamton.
I thought he was kiteboarding in Queens. Dang.
So he's going to do he'll do a show probably talking about the pictures he took with that lens. But
oh, absolutely, he will.
I think he went in his last video. He just went into some wildlife area, near him or whatever, and he fell in love with it. And I think he wasn't sure, like I said, he was going to want to keep it or not. But I think he made that decision after just using it for a couple hours. Everybody who's used it falls in love with it.
Yeah, wasn't that interesting the way he said that, though? I was just going to review it and send it back,
Yeah,
I'm sure whoever he bought it from loves that comment.
I'm surprised that they're not sending him stuff to review. His channel is really big, and he has a big educational following. That seems prime time for Nikon to jump on that, and they haven't.
Well, what I didn't realize is at the end of the show, he's showing like the tripod he was going to take with him, and he actually builds his own tripods and sells them.
Really?
Wow.
So he makes his own, ultra lightweight tripods, and he sells them.
You know what? Talk about a script for how to review products. Like Hudson Henry has got it. He's so calm, and he's like, I really wish Nikon would fix this. I'm like, I like your chill, bro. Tell me more,
Wow.
Yeah, he's fun to watch. He's interesting.
Robert Daniels, man, I feel you. The pandemic slowed down all the stuff I really like, but I did quickly heavier into macro, and so I figured it out. But I mean, not everybody has like a macro lens just laying, you know. The pandemic was interesting to try to find things to shoot as a mostly portrait photographer.
Sorry, I was over here trying to get
Ooh, Nick Hay has a question that's right up my alley.
okay.
Boy, I could tell you a story, but it's too long, but it is funny as all heck.
Here's the perfect answer to this question. I don't shoot erotica, but I do shoot, you guys don't see it, but I shoot 90% bodyscape. And so no, it's not taboo as long as you know who Robert Mapplethorpe is. Google at your own risk. He is controversial even to this day, and he was doing his thing in the 70s and 80s. So that, if that has an art gallery, I don't think any kind of photography is taboo. Controversial to the masses, maybe, but I like a little shock factor every once in a while. Stuff that makes me go, oof, I wouldn't shoot that. You know, there's a place for everything. I don't think it's taboo at all.
Chuck, you got to put up Long Rider's comment. That's a good one. That's funny.
Sorry, I was over trying to. Here I am trying to do two things at once over on the Facebook group.
Well, he says, I want to be the first wildlife photographer to shoot the animals that live in the sewer of every major city.
I would be down for that adventure.
And if you survive that, you will. You know, we all chip in and we buy you a Leica.
You guys like I guess the new thing is cemetery YouTube channels now.
I actually want to do some of that, but I don't want to. They have to be old and damn near abandoned because I get uncomfortable.
They're old. Like these places are like crazy old.
I want to do one. There's one in Kansas that's absolutely horrific. It looks like a scene out of a horror movie. It's a Stoll Cemetery. I would love to do a shoot out there. I just have to have the time to drive out there. You know,
Hey,
I think it's cool.
Right under the Brooklyn, was it the Brooklyn Bridge or something like that? No, not the Brooklyn Bridge. There's a highway, the famous highway, Brooklyn something, is the old famous cemetery where all the old gangsters are buried.
Oh, that's wild.
Gambino and like all those guys, you know.
I would have thought we wouldn't know where those guys were buried.
No,
we're still looking for Jimmy Hoffa.
Yeah, they're still looking for Hoffa.
Oh, he's gone. They whacked him and threw him in the ocean.
Yeah.
You know.
Swimming with the fishes.
It's funny you bring that up, Albert. I've got a friend up here in Connecticut, shoots a lot of events. He's a marketing guy actually for a company and shoots a lot of motorcycle events and things like that. But his big thing is to go down to South and Central America to all the Mayan locations. He goes every year, spends 2 weeks down there traipsing around, looking at, you know, all the Mayan ruins and temples and everything else. He tries to get me to go with him every year. Come on, man, go with me.
St. John Cemetery in Queens. Yep, that's where it is. All those famous gangsters are there.
Oh, I was gonna say, since we're talking about cemeteries, I don't know how much. I don't know what the weirdest thing you guys have ever been hired to do was, but it only happened once. I got hired to photograph a funeral.
Me too.
Did it happen to be an Asian funeral?
No.
Oh, mine was. I thought maybe it was like, because I've never heard of I've never heard it in my family or in my circle.
Yeah,
but
mine I think it was Russian, but they wanted the family from, you know, the motherland to see the funeral.
Oh, I see.
So it was actually a video gig. It wasn't a photo gig. So I videotaped the whole funeral.
Wow.
And,
that's a strange feeling, but it's actually a hard shoot, man. Inside.
And And this is way back before live stream.
Hmm.
This is like VHS days where you couldn't really live stream anything.
Did you have one of the big?
Yeah,
Oh
camcorder.
God, sticking out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
So, so I taped it and I gave it to the family, and they said, "Yeah, this tape is going overseas, so they can watch it."
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Because there was no YouTube, there was no internet back then.
Right.
So.
You couldn't just pull out your phone and hit Skype and.
And you
You
know
know.
what though? I love it. I mean, if I could go back to those times and not have a smartphone, I would love to live like this.
I'm in on that.
Like seriously.
Yep.
Like imagine life without us. Like the times of the 70s and 80s. And when did it start? When did the internet start? Like 95? Is that when it was 90, 95,
know.
right?
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
back when your computer would scream at you when you were logging on.
Yep.
It was around 93, 94. Well, before that, what did people do? They went to the library to do their whole the research. They went out, they played games, there was no smartphone. We only had landlines. And before pagers even. Before pagers.
Yep.
Everybody didn't need to know what you were doing every minute of the day.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, life was so great. And I was a young boy. I mean, Chuck would actually know more about that life.
Yep. Used to make a trip from Savannah, Georgia up to Kentucky going home on leave, and never heard from home, or they never heard from me until I got in the door. Nowadays, everybody wants to know every mile you've traveled to make sure you're safe.
What do you
and
mean?
everything.
Now there's apps that they'll actually track you.
Well, true enough. True enough.
Right.
Oh, you're on this 95? Yeah. You're going 70 miles per hour? Yeah, it actually tells you how fast you're traveling too.
Yep.
You guys have
I'm
Live 360?
No.
It's an app.
Long Rider, I had a set of Encyclopedia Britannica.
Same here.
Remember when you needed to make a phone call? You had to go to the payphone.
Yep. Hey guys, I'm going to pull the plug on this before long, since I got to get up and go to a wedding tomorrow. But anyway, so I'm packed my camera bag, and I'm going to take it with me and be, what is it, Uncle Fred that gets in the way?
Uncle Fred, Fred and Aunt Betty.
Yeah, that gets in the way of the photographer. No, I'm not going to do that. But so I'm taking the Z9, I'm taking the Z7 II. I don't know, obviously I'll start out shooting with the Z9, but I may play with the Z7 II also. I'm taking the 1-400, believe it or not, because I can be in the back of the room and play with that. I want to see how it does at a wedding. Sounds ridiculous, but we're going to see. And I'm taking the 51.8, and I'm taking the 24-70 f4, since I don't have the 24-70 2.8. So anyway, and I'm taking a flash. I was going to take the SB910, but I think I'm going to take the flash point instead. I just like the fact that I can charge that battery up and it lasts all day instead of having to worry about batteries.
And you're gonna have more gear than the photographer, man.
I will.
Well,
Intentionally, I don't go anywhere without overkill, because it's not like I'm carrying it everywhere I go.
I had to stop myself too, Chuck, because I used to take everything for any situation, and I was just like, dude, now that my back surgery is done and I have recovered, and I'm just like, dude, I don't want to screw my back up again. And so I'm just like, I make a plan now. I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a 1 prime, 1 zoom, depending on where I'm going. It might be a 14.
You know what? When you grow up in the military, especially after you've been in the Ranger Battalion, where you can't carry anything that you need because everybody has to carry the same thing, literally, everything has to be the same. And my feet would freeze in the wintertime because I had to wear jungle boots, the old Vietnam jungle boots that have the plate, the anti punji stick plate in the bottom. Now it's all about comfort. When I got to special forces, I could wear and carry whatever I wanted as long as I humped it. So I learned to be comfortable, and I carried more. And just about so you guys know, I'm a coffee drinker, as you might imagine. You've seen me run after coffee so many times. I carried extra water with me just so I could make coffee in the field. Only during the day, though. Only during the day. And I carried a thermos just so I could make coffee. So after the sun set. So anyway, same thing nowadays with camera equipment. I carry everything. And I may not need it, but you know what? It didn't hurt me because it sat in the car. I wasn't carrying it. So yeah, I take more than I need. But I'm hoping to play with some of these
You'll be
in
the
that environment.
photographer's backup gear supplier.
Oh, you know, it wouldn't surprise me if, you know, hey, you laugh, but I even thought about taking one of my Flashpoint, my new what is it, 400? I'm serious, and a light stand. I thought about it just in case.
You're the guy that I always make fun of at weddings.
Yep. Yep.
But you can make fun of them right now, live.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
You're a super Uncle Bob.
You betcha, man. You betcha. I might just show up. I might just take the light stand now and carry it in to the reception.
Hey, you know what?
Don't mind me, folks.
Take it a step further and be that photographer that shows up with a ladder. That way you can climb the ladder with an ultra wide and get like an above dance floor shot.
Wow.
Just walk up the ladder, dude.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Ronald's in here. Ronald Pollard's in here. Yes, sir. Yeah.
Hello, Ronald.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Robert, I'd love to talk to you about the old days, but I just don't ever talk about all my military stuff. Most people could care less. And so many of the stories, you had to have been there. Unless you're prior military, and then maybe you'd understand some of them. A lot of people
Chuck,
don't.
Yes, sir. Real quick, did you serve in Vietnam?
Yeah, no. I missed it by a few years.
I see. Well, I was if you did, I was going to say welcome home, but
yeah. Well, thanks.
Thanks for your service. But
well, thank you. Yeah, Greg, I have more camera gear than luggage when I travel.
Yeah, that sounds like me. I take like if I jump state, then I literally take everything.
The widest lens I'm taking tomorrow, I'm not going to take the 14-30 with me, but I am going to take the 24-70. And I'll get there and say, man, I wish I had the 14-30 to catch this whole venue. There are 180 guests. You can imagine how big this is going to be.
Wow.
Hey,
yeah, you might need the 14 if you got that many people.
Yeah. But again, I'm not the photographer. Yeah. I was just told, hey, bring your camera.
He's gonna run you. He's gonna run you.
To me, that means a whole lot more than just a camera.
Now, Vahagan, didn't you have the 14-30? Did you get rid of it?
I sold it and then I rebought it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna because I was thinking about getting it, and I was gonna ask you why you sold it.
No, I rebought it. I liked it too much.
I just did that with the Zeiss 35 millimeter Distagon. I sold it, and I had a longing for it, and so I bought it again. But Vahagan, I wanted to ask, what's your favorite Z lens?
The ones that I own or the ones that I want? I've tried.
Ones that you've tried that is your favorite.
Oh,
just say the one that's on my camera.
The ones that I've tried. Wow. Probably the 70-200 2.8.
Mine's
freaking sharp.
It is insanely sharp. It's insanely sharp.
Sharp. The bokeh is beautiful, and I haven't even tried. I just shot around the house.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't. Tomorrow I'm taking it out.
Yeah, mine is the 51.2.
I forgot about that too. The 51.2, I guess.
The 51.2 is probably my favorite lens of all time.
Okay. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
F mount or otherwise.
Yeah. They're equally good for me. The 51.2 is great too. I forgot that I had that lens.
Oh, you do have it?
Yeah, the 51.2. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a dream, man.
Yeah. Yeah. The 105 is nice too.
Oh yeah, I actually take out the 105 and the 51 too. Every time I go in to shoot macro, I take both of them because I actually like them both. The 105 is great, obviously, for like macro, but every macro shot I take, I do like a 50 millimeter shot at 1.2 because that lens opened up like a new genre for me. And that was like just shallow depth of field photography. Like you could take like a bark and make it look incredible, you know? And so I literally shoot everything. I'm that weird photographer now since I got that lens that you see like on the ground, like laying on the ground, taking pictures of like nothing. And you're like, look at that goon over there, you know?
Yeah.
That's me now.
Yeah, we heard about that long rider. It's not gonna happen. But you know why I forgot that I have that lens? Because that's how much I go out and shoot for myself. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I won't take that lens to a wedding. It's just a little too big. But maybe.
Yeah, I always
Greg.
say,
Hey,
Okay.
Greg, I'm gonna ask them if they want to borrow my camera. That's what I'm gonna say.
Hey, Chuck, you could say, now, do you want to use a real camera? Ooh.
No, I'm not. No, I'm just gonna say. I think it's enough to say, "Do you want to borrow my camera?"
But you know what, Wade? Like they're all great. All those Z lenses are great.
they really
So
are.
it's hard to pick
Well,
one favorite.
I agree, except for one. What is it? It's something the 24 to 200. I hated that lens. That was the only lens that I've shot in the Z system that was like awful. I absolutely hated that lens. I reviewed it and it was just terrible.
Now,
There you go, Hassan. Get your plug in there, man.
That makes it great. Yeah.
now if when Mozman gets his 800 and I try that thing, I'm gonna fall in love with it, and that's gonna be my favorite lens.
Yeah, their favorite lens is the last one that you bought, right?
Yeah, typically that is the way it goes, doesn't it? It's the one you were wanting to get.
I can't wait to just say, damn, how light this thing is. Like, it's gonna be shocking.
Isn't it crazy that these super telephoto lenses don't rip the mount off of your camera anymore?
Yeah, but I wouldn't hold it like that.
I wouldn't either. It'd scare the shit out of me.
Probably, Greg. Yep.
Z9 is too heavy.
I'll tell you, I might shoot long lenses a lot of the time, but I really like my 24 to 120.
Yeah,
As soon as I can get my hands on one, I want to do a review on it because everyone's saying it's awesome. I didn't know it was an S line.
Yeah, it's a great lens. It's great for close-up work. It's great for street photography, travel photography.
I badly want to on my YouTube. I want to do the. Oh, go ahead.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Yeah, folks that are still in here, if you haven't, please hit the like button. It's kind of what motivates me. As I was talking to Vahagan today, not toot the horn or anything else, but this morning in Gray's in their live stream, I just posted, I'm watching from cloudy Connecticut, and Con actually says, "Hey, Chuck just said he's watching from Connecticut." He knew my name for whatever reason, whether it's, where Vahagan had mentioned it or something, I don't know. But, little things like that. See, folks, it's easy. Keep me motivated. Just a little thing like that, or the likes that I see. And, if you would drop a like. And for those that haven't subscribed and you're in here and you're enjoying it, then consider subscribing and become part of our community. We're having a good time, as you can see. So there you go. Public service announcement over.
What's up, Ronald Pollard?
Anyone interested in the new Voigtlanders? If I would, if they weren't they're DX, right? The ones that I saw were DX, and I don't really I don't need it for my my ZFC. I just use the ZFC for B-roll footage, really, and whenever I just want to shoot for fun. But if they were full frame lenses, oh yeah, I love Voigtlander lenses.
Hmm.
Single best value like on the planet. They're so good. The 58 Noct was like one of my favorites.
And they've been around forever. I remember them when I was a kid.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised, with all the demand for like, since Nikon isn't really supporting the DX line, that's a pretty smart move of Voigtlander to put out some DX lenses. And I don't know where Tamron is, by the way. Somebody mentioned the 15 to 30 G2. I love that freaking lens. That lens smoked Nikon's 14 to 24. But to like and subscribe them one-liners, man.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm surprised that these third-party brands haven't figured it out yet and start putting out fill that gap. It seems like a good business move.
There you go. Voigtlander's now made by Cosina in Japan.
Yeah, they have been for a while. The same place that makes Zeiss. That's what's insane. Is Zeiss lens is $3,000, a Voigtlander's $500, and they're made by the same people.
Man. Yeah, Robert Daniels saying he got the 40 millimeter and 58 millimeter adapted. Wow.
Yeah, that 58 millimeter Noct, the 0.95. I want to rent that so bad and like review it. That thing is $370 to rent.
Wow.
Like you can rent a Z9 for less than that. And those things are like, if you break it, Borrow Lenses is not going to be able to get a new one.
Yeah. Hey, Mozman, I was trying to highlight your comment there. Mozman made the comment. I don't know if you guys caught it or not. I'm talking about in the chat. He has a 24 to 70 f4 that he's willing to let go since he has the 24 to 120. Makes sense. Anybody looking
Chuck,
for that?
I think you got to go to bed, Chuck.
Yeah.
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 I do too. I got to wake up and clean house.
Wedding is tomorrow night, but I still got to get up early so we can get everything ready to go. We're going down, staying down there for the night, and then coming back Sunday.
Well, yeah, Chuck. I mean, you still have to wake up and go to the trailer renting store to haul your gear out.
Exactly, man.
You got U-Haul.
You can't imagine how many bags I have and how many cases I have. Packing this stuff back and forth to Salt Lake City for so many years.
You got to hire a moving company.
You betcha. Yeah, but I can still carry it all. That's amazing. It doesn't, I don't come home and think I'm dead now. Because I carried it.
Yeah, Matthew Card, I see your comment and I like you, bro. The 15 to 30 G2 is amazing.
All right.
Shut it down, Chuck.
You here, 58. Yep. Hey, Ronald, sorry I know you're a working photographer, man, and you couldn't get in here before now, but yeah, I'm getting ready to close up shop. So I'll be down at the wedding tomorrow thinking about you guys. Ugh. Oh, well. Anyway.
Have a coffee on us.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely will.
Well, at least we'll both be shooting weddings tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. So I'm going to take all the knowledge I've gleaned from some guy named the rock and roll photographer, Vahagan, and his way how to shoot weddings. And I'm going to apply some of that tomorrow, as long as I don't get in anybody's way. But all right, guys, hope you have a wonderful weekend. It is Memorial Day weekend. Just understand it's not for people like me that served. It's for those that served and paid the ultimate price. That's what Memorial Day is all about. Those that didn't come home, those of us that did get our own day, and that's going to be in November. That's Veterans Day. But for now, just remember, a lot of people have served this country all the way back to battling for the country itself. And there are a lot of mothers and fathers out there that didn't get their sons and daughters back. So anyway, thank you all very much for being in here tonight. I've had a wonderful time. I think we cleared the air on a few things. And Vahagan, buddy, I got your back. All right. I know you guys are, all the stuff that's going on. I'm sorry that happened to you, Zach, but, this is what we got to do sometimes, kind of defend photography. And that's what it really is, not just the brand. All right. Anybody got any parting words or wisdom?
No, just thanks for having us. It was fun. Have fun tomorrow, and you guys have a great weekend. All right, everybody.
Hey, you
All
too,
right.
man.
And Jeffrey, go watch that film.
Yes, and hopefully, Chuck, we won't see some YouTube video of you causing trouble at the wedding with your camera.
Dancing on the
please.
table with.
Chuck's gonna get up on the table, take off that Z9 strap, and swing
There you
it
go.
around.
There you go. Yeah.
Just don't be one of those Uncle Bobs that get in front of the real photographer, all right?
Yeah.
Just
I'm just
overpower his flash with your flash.
There you go. No, I actually think I know who it is, and I'm not a big fan. Anyway, it's a family thing. But so I'm not too worried about offending them. I won't do it intentionally. But if the bride wants some other photos, then I'll see what I can do. Especially now that I know how to do it because of the rock and roll photographer.
Oh, come on.
That's what's up.
And watch where you put your bag.
Yeah, my wife will have that. Actually, I'll leave it in the car.
No.
Yeah.
Don't be an a-hole.
Where you parked at?
Going to be girls at the wedding, Maz? Oh, I hope so. I think so. All right.
Chuck
Shoot
just
from the
forgot
hip,
that his
Robert
wife
said.
watches. I'm
Yeah.
kidding.
I am all about I like candid photography. So Robert, this is right up my alley, actually. Just being
Perfect.
somebody that's out there, unobtrusive. That's why I'm taking the 1-400 as well. I just want to see what it'll do. So
Mozman had to bring back the grits right before we close.
yeah, Roy, but what's life without some chances, man? I know. I'm violating a big rule here, but anyway. All right, guys. Thanks again. God bless you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Again, remember those that didn't come home and the families that lost those individuals. I love all of you in the chat section. Hope you guys had a good time, and we will be back. I'll be back Wednesday afternoon, 12 noon or 12 p.m. Eastern time. That's 1700 Eastern or GMT for those that are over in Britain and other places in Europe. I have no idea what time it is where you're at, Roy. I can't keep track of it, man. But anyway, we'll be back Wednesday with the regular show. Tuesday, do you have anything coming up, Mr. Vahagan?
No, just another live stream.
Okay, Tuesday. So Vahagan's live again Tuesday. And Jeffrey, we know we're waiting on your next video or your live stream coming up, right?
I don't do live streams.
How about you, Zach? Anything coming up you want to let everybody know about?
Yeah. If you haven't seen my new content, it's a lot different. Also, tomorrow I mentioned I'm shooting that bodyscape. And for the first time, I'm actually going to be documenting how a bodyscape session works. It won't be on YouTube, but if you want to see how like a professional bodyscape session works and how a model and photographer behave in a professional setting like that, then it'll be on my website. So make sure you check that out. I'll let everybody know whenever it happens. So,
all right, man.
What's
all
up,
right,
Michael?
brother? Go check out which video is it I liked, man. You scared me though in one part, so people got to go check it out.
Yeah, you guys got to go check out Jeffrey's YouTube channel, man. What's your YouTube channel?
Selective Imagery.
Check that out, guys. It's awesome. Great storytelling, great birding images.
Definitely get over and subscribe and like for over there on Jeffrey's channel. Selective Imagery. If you like alligators, he shoots alligators. Not literally.
And Mozman's in the last video, so watch out.
Imagine that. It's the best video he's done. Imagine that.
Hey, wait. Just quick question for Jeffrey, and then quick answer because Chuck's got to go. But like, those alligators, were they just open like that, or was there like guards, or like was it like a zoo type thing?
No, it's open, natural.
Holy crap!
They cross over the road. I've had a gator within 4 inches of my leg. and I didn't know it was there. Snuck up on me, walked right by me, and went to the other side.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, that's
Gotta
wild.
watch out.
So my wife doesn't like me when I go because she thinks I'm going to get killed by a gator. And I said, well, I'll taste like chicken, right?
Wow.
All right, guys. Again, thanks so much.
No risk, no reward.
Thanks so much for being in here. I appreciate it. Appreciate all of you.
Thanks
God
for having
bless
me,
you all
Chuck.
again. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Hey,
people.
later,
Take
Chuck.
it
Thanks for having me. Comment
See
section.
ya.
We'll see you guys later.
Rock and roll.
Now, there it is. Where's it at? One more time.
And we're
Rock
done.
and roll.
Rock and roll. There it was. All right. All right, guys. Talk to everybody later.